Ding! The era of global survival has descended. The global survival era is about to commence. Rule briefing. Every female player may select one male player as their companion. Male players hold the right to refuse. Once bonded, both parties will be randomly teleported to a survival zone. System notification. Talent awakening activated. Global survival chat channel unlocked. Safe period, 7 days. Within 7 days, you may safely develop your shelter and raise your level. The true survival era will begin after 7 days. Once the 7 days end, surviving players may choose between 2 game modes. Option 1, Map Survival. Enter an all-new survival map to embark on Doomsday Survival. Mythical unknown creatures of random levels will spawn across the map. Difficulty, High. Option 2, Home Defense. Defend your shelter against unknown creatures for the full 7 days. Difficulty, Medium. Warning, make full use of these 7 days to fortify your shelter and strengthen yourself. The unknown beasts are far deadlier than you can imagine. Wishing you all a successful survival experience. Lin Yi's mind still buzzed with the system chime, too stunned to process this abrupt flood of information. A translucent light screen materialized out of thin air before him, densely printed with the full set of rules. The dorm erupted into chaos at once. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. Wang Hao, the heavy-set guy on the upper bunk, tumbled straight off his bed. He ignored the stinging pain in his rear as he hit the floor. Global survival? What even is this garbage? I pulled an all-nighter gaming and haven't slept a wink. Across the room, Lu Yang ransacked his cabinet in a frenzy. I've got to grab my power banks. And instant noodles. We'll definitely need food to survive, right? Lin Yi sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the glowing screen, his mind racing a mile a minute. Global survival. Girls pick boys. Teleport after bonding. 7-day safe period. Shelters. Levels. Talents. He glanced down at his hands instinctively, well-defined knuckles, long, slender fingers. His good looks had always drawn attention growing up, but this was an entirely different situation. Dude, Lin Yi. Wang Hao scrambled over and clung to the side of Lin Yi's bed. With that face of yours, you're gonna blow up. Which girl wouldn't want a handsome partner to survive alongside? Lu Yang crowded over too. Exactly. If Su Muxue, the school beauty, gets to choose, she'll definitely pick you. Didn't you two co-host the freshman gala last time? The way you locked eyes, man, the chemistry. Lin Yi pushed his chattering face away, speechless. Quit messing around. The rules say if a girl picks me, I can turn her down. Besides, who knows if this is even real? His words had barely faded when the system alert blared again, a server-wide announcement broadcast to every living person. Current female player population, 3,421,877,211. Current male player population, 3,398,456,892. Current total population of the survival world. Due to the unbalanced gender ratio, unselected male players will be randomly teleported to survival zones with no starting companion. Unselected female players will receive extra survival supply compensation. The entire internet exploded overnight. Lin Yi's phone vibrated nonstop, group chat messages flooding the screen in endless waves. The top 10 Weibo trending tags were all global survival, girls select male partners, 7-day safe period, and similar topics. On Moments, girls debated who they should pick, while boys marketed themselves frantically like merchandise waiting to be chosen. Ladies, take a look at me. I can cook, fix electronics, and I'm super strong. Please pick me. I may not be handsome, but my survival skills are maxed out. Any kind lady willing to choose me? I'm sweet-tongued, great at cheering people up, and I'll never drag the team down. Lin Yi twitched his mouth reading these posts. The whole vibe was utterly bizarre. Wang Hao had already posted a 9-photo selfie set to his Moments with the caption, "Survival expert seeking a lady to take me in." Lu Yang went even further. He launched a live stream titled The Best Value Man Online, begging to be claimed. Is it really that serious for you two? Lin Yi pressed a palm to his forehead. Dead serious. Wang Hao said earnestly. Didn't you read the announcement? Unselected guys get teleported alone, no partner at all. Starting the game one man down, how are we supposed to make it? Lin Yi thought it over and he couldn't fault the logic. But there was nothing he could do right now. What's meant to be will be. He flopped back onto his bed and opened the school forum. The pin top thread read, "Who will the school beauty choose for global survival?" When he tapped into it, the top comment read, Su Muxue will pick Lin Yi without a shadow of a doubt. No counterarguments accepted. Those two look like they stepped straight out of a drama poster together. Who else would she choose? Dozens of agreeing replies piled up beneath it, alongside sour remarks like, what if she picks someone else? What does Lin Yi have besides his looks? But those negative comments were quickly shot down. Lin Yi scrolled for a moment and prepared to close the page, when a private message popped up at the top of his screen. Su Muxue, you there? Lin Yi froze. He and Su Muxue had indeed co-hosted the freshman gala, but their interactions never extended past work. They'd never chatted privately before. Su Muxue was universally recognized as the school beauty, a first year in the economics and management department. Stunning and elegant, she also came from a well-off family. Her line of suitors stretched from the teaching building all the way to the school gate. Lin Yi, yeah, what's up? Su Muxue, the selection function just went live on the system. Lin Yi, I saw the announcement. Su Muxue, I want to pick you. Lin Yi's hand jolted, nearly dropping his phone onto his face when the message appeared. He drew a deep breath, ready to type a reply, when another message followed instantly. Su Muxue, don't feel pressured. I just think you seem reliable. And, honestly, surviving this ordeal is easier with a teammate you don't mind being around. Her words were straightforward and sincere, leaving Lin Yi unsure how to respond. After a moment's hesitation, he typed, Are you sure? My survival skills might not be all that great. Su Muxue, will you reject me then? Lin Yi stared at the text and suddenly smiled. This girl was refreshingly direct, no beating around the bush. He sent 2 words, won't reject. Su Muxue replied in a split second. All right, I'll send the invite. The second the message landed, a system notification popped up on the light screen before Lin Yi. Female player Su Muxue has sent you a team-up invitation. Accept? Lin Yi raised a hand and tapped accept. The entire dorm fell dead silent the very next second. Wang Hao and Lu Yang spun to face him simultaneously, eyes wide as if they'd seen a ghost. You accepted? Wang Hao's voice trembled. Who picked you? Su Muxue, Lin Yi answered flatly. 3 full seconds of absolute silence blanketed the dorm. Then Wang Hao let out a blood-curdling scream. What? Su Muxue. The school beauty chose you. Lu Yang dropped to his knees and slid across the floor to Lin Yi's side, hands clasped together in supplication. Brother Lin, you're my real brother. Please, ask your girlfriend if any of her friends haven't picked a partner yet. Hook a brother up. Cut it out. Don't call her my girlfriend. Lin Yi kicked him away, though a grin tugged at the corner of his mouth despite himself. Meanwhile, the school forum descended into chaos. Su Muxue posted a simple 2-word update on her social media account. Chosen. Attached was a screenshot of the system interface, clearly displaying invitations sent to Lin Yi. Thousands of replies flooded the thread within moments. I knew it would happen. I'm heartbroken. All my unrequited admiration was for nothing. Did Lin Yi save an entire galaxy in his past life? Why Su Muxue of all people? What does he have besides good looks? Someone's clearly bitter and jealous up there. Logical analysis. Lin Yi ranked 3rd in the entire school's college entrance exam. Flawlessly hosted the freshman gala, his overall abilities can't be bad. She made the right pick. Lin Yi skimmed a handful of comments and closed the forum without a second thought. He had no time for online chatter. The system teleport countdown had begun. Teleport countdown. 10 minutes. Please prepare yourselves. Survival zones will be assigned at random. Lin Yi shot upright and stuffed every practical item he could think of into his backpack, a lighter, a pack of compressed biscuits, 2 bottles of water, a spare set of clothes. Wang Hao stared at him in awe. How can you stay this calm? What's the point of wailing and panicking? Lin Yi zipped his backpack shut. Better spend the time prepping. His phone vibrated again, a message from Su Muxue. Su Muxue, what supplies did you bring? Lin Yi snapped a photo of his bag's contents and sent it over. Su Muxue, you even brought compressed biscuits? I only stuffed a ton of snacks. Lin Yi, it's fine, I'll share mine with you later. Su Muxue, awesome. Now I don't have to stress. See you soon. Lin Yi smiled softly at the message. The famed school beauty wasn't nearly as cold and aloof as rumors claimed. Countdown, 1 minute. All players, prepare for teleportation. Survival begins now. Blinding white light swallowed the entire dormitory. The ground vanished beneath Lin Yi's feet. An invisible giant hand seized his body as the system's final announcement echoed in his ears. Current zone number, A123. Zone population, 5 million. Safe period countdown, 7 days. During the safe period, native creatures will not attack humans unprovoked. Do not provoke them. Wishing you a successful survival experience. When Lin Yi opened his eyes, dirt and green grass filled his vision. He pushed himself off the ground to sit up, finding himself sprawled across a wide, empty meadow. A faint cool breeze hung in the air. Before him stretched a flat plot of land roughly 20 square meters in size. Halfway up the plot stood a waist-high stone pillar carved with glowing runes, a holographic interface floating suspended above its peak. Lin Yi stood and walked toward the pillar. The virtual screen activated automatically as he drew near. Shelter core, LV.0, current status, unconstructed. Available build, crude wooden hut, cost, 10 wood. Current resources owned, wood 0, stone 0, food 0. Resources required to upgrade shelter from LV.0 to LV.1, 20 wood, 10 stone. EXP required to raise player level from LV.0 to LV.1, 100. Level ups boost physical constitution and mental power. Lin Yi felt a little dazed. First things first, survival. He read through the full interface once more, mapping out a rough plan in his head. This was the shelter system he'd heard mentioned. He would rely on it to survive the safe period. He had absolutely nothing to start with. He'd have to build everything from scratch. He pulled up his personal status panel next. Name, Lin Yi. Level, 0. Physical constitution, 70. Human maximum cap, 100. Brain domain capacity, 100. Unique trait. Sanity value, 85. Warning, sanity dropping below 10 causes unconsciousness. Reaching 0 results in brain death. Talent? Unawakened. Skills, none. Companion, Su Mushue, not yet teleported to this zone. Brain domain capacity? Lin Yi frowned. The system rules stated every player would unlock a unique personal talent upon arrival, yet his remained unawakened. Likely a glitch during teleportation, or a special condition he needed to meet to activate it. No use dwelling on it, time to work. Lin Yi set down his backpack and scanned his surroundings. Beyond the shelter boundary lay a thick forest filled with tall, sturdy straight trees, perfect lumber sources. He picked up a rock, tested its weight, and headed for the nearest tree. Lin Yi had only ever chopped wood in video games before. The real thing was exhausting. Each blow sent painful vibrations up his wrist, leaving nothing but a faint white mark on the trunk. It took over a dozen strikes just to carve a small notch into the wood. This efficiency is terrible, Lin Yi shook his sore wrists. At this pace, felling one tree would take at least 30 minutes. He was worrying over the slow progress when a clear, crisp voice called out from behind him. Lin Yi. Lin Yi turned to see Su Mushue jogging over from the other side of the woods. She wore a white hoodie and jeans, her long hair tied back in a ponytail, cheeks flushed as if she'd only just finished teleporting too. Behind her, she dragged an overstuffed suitcase whose zipper strained to burst open. Your suitcase, Lin Yi trailed off, unsure what to say. I brought tons of supplies. Su Mushue unzipped it excitedly, the case popping open to reveal piles of potato chips, chocolate, milk tea powder, self-heating hot pot, and even a plush doll. Lin Yi fell silent. Su Mushue went quiet too, then mumbled softly, Did I bring the wrong stuff? It's all right, Lin Yi sighed. Edible food's still useful. But we need to prioritize construction from now on. Otherwise, we won't have any shelter from wind and rain once the 7 days end. Su Mushue nodded, glancing at the rock in his hand. You're cutting wood with that? It's all I've got for now. Su Mushue thought for a moment, pulled up her system panel and browsed through it, then lit up with excitement. My talent is called Resource Detection, Grade B. It senses usable resources within a certain radius around me, with a 30-minute cooldown. A treasure hunter skill? Lin Yi raised an eyebrow. That's incredibly useful. Help me check if there's any fallen timber or loose stone nearby. Su Mushue closed her eyes, a faint pale blue glow spreading across her palms. A few seconds later, she opened her eyes and pointed northwest into the woods. That way, about 100 meters out, there are 3 dead fallen trees and a pile of large stones. Lin Yi's spirits lifted. Let's go. The pair headed in the direction she indicated, and sure enough, 3 dry dead trees and a heap of loose rocks lay hidden behind thick brush. The dead wood was dried brittle enough to snap off with bare hands, far faster than bashing live trees with rocks. The stones were ready to haul back as construction material. Your talent is such a godsend, Lin Yi muttered as he snapped off branches. You're basically a walking mineral scanner. Su Muxue knelt to sort through the stone pile, glancing up with a smile at his comment. What's your talent then? Still unawakened, the system says so. It'll probably unlock eventually, Su Muxue nodded thoughtfully. She lifted an armful of stones and followed him back to the shelter plot. They made multiple trips hauling materials back and forth until they finally gathered 20 units of wood and 10 units of stone. Lin Yi wiped sweat from his forehead, stepped up to the shelter core, and selected Upgrade. Shelter upgrading, upgrade complete. Current shelter level, LV.1 crude wooden hut. LV.1, defense 50, extremely flimsy, cannot withstand attacks from ordinary wild animals. Next tier, crude wooden hut LV.2, required materials, 40 wood, 20 stone, 10 food. Unlocked structures, simple wooden bed, basic workbench, craft low-tier everyday goods, primitive fence. Talent awakened, spatial storage, grade S. Reward granted, new player gift pack ×1. Spatial storage? Spatial storage talent description. All items including lumber, stone, food, and more may be stored within the space. Time freezes for all stored items, they will not decay or change state over time. Base storage volume, 30 cubic meters. Storage capacity doubles with every shelter level upgrade. This talent's going to be ridiculously overpowered later on, Lin Yi marveled, brimming with delight as he opened the new player gift pack. Inside lay an iron axe, an iron pickaxe, and a dagger. He gripped the axe to test its weight, sharp blade, perfectly balanced. Infinitely better than a crude rock. With this axe, woodcutting speed will multiply at least tenfold, Lin Yi hefted it contentedly. At that exact moment, a server-wide system announcement flashed across every player's screen. Congratulations to player Zhao Tianlong for being the first to reach LV.1. Reward, low-grade weapon chest ×1. Congratulations to player Zhao Tianlong for constructing the first primitive fence. Reward, low-grade enhancement scroll ×1. Lin Yi and Su Muxue both stared at the notification, exchanging a glance. Zhao Tianlong? Su Muxue furrowed her brow. The name sounds familiar. He's from our school's physical education department. His family runs a martial arts gym, Lin Yi recalled. I heard he won provincial Sonda championships back in high school. The survival chat channel blew up instantly. What insane starting luck Zhao Tianlong has. First LV.1 first fence built? No surprise from a trained fighter, his survival stats are maxed out. Does that mean Su Muxue picked the wrong guy? Zhao Tianlong's way stronger than Lin Yi. Looks like it right now. Lin Yi hasn't accomplished anything, while Zhao Tianlong's already surging ahead. Told you good looks don't mean anything, survival isn't a beauty pageant. LOL, Lin Yi's probably still struggling to light a fire by now. Quit the pointless hate, he's probably just busy prepping. Busy doing what? Filming vlogs. Lin Yi skimmed the messages once, then closed the chat window with a blank expression and stepped into the wooden hut. The hut held nothing but a single simple wooden bed. Su Muxue stole a quick glance at him. Does that bother you? Why would it? Lin Yi fitted the last wooden plank onto the wall. The game's only just begun. Lin Yi paid no mind to the chat room gossip, his mind fixed on his new talent. What did 30 cubic meters of storage even mean? It was roughly a cube 3 meters long, wide, and tall, large enough to fit a small minivan inside. His military training suitcase was only 0.2 cubic meters. The storage space equaled 150 of those suitcases combined. And every 2 shelter-level UPS doubled the volume. While others wasted hours hauling stone manually, he could teleport materials into storage instantly. LV.3 would unlock 60 cubic meters, LV.4 120, and LV.5 a massive 240 cubic meters. Holy hell, Lin Yi couldn't help but curse under his breath. He activated his talent. A translucent grid storage interface materialized before him, lined with slots holding 30 cubic meters of total capacity. Lin Yi picked up the iron axe at his side and focused his mind. The axe vanished from his grip, appearing inside the storage space. Another thought, and the axe returned to his hand. Item store and retrieve in milliseconds. This is basically a portable dimensional backpack. A huge grin spread across Lin Yi's face as he moved every item from his backpack into the storage space in one go. Compressed biscuits, water bottles, all vanishing instantly with zero weight burden. Now he wore nothing but his clothes, light as a feather. No one could comprehend how satisfying this felt. Su Muxue poked her head inside, rubbing her sleepy eyes. What are you grinning about? My talent unlocked. Lin Yi forced his tone to sound calm. Spatial storage, 30 cubic meters. Su Muxue's drowsiness vanished in an instant, scrambling fully out of bed. 30 cubic meters? Could we fit our entire shelter inside it? More or less, but we can't disassemble buildings to store them. Only loose individual items work, Lin Yi explained. Already mapping out their next move. Tomorrow we'll head deep into the woods and stockpile every resource we can carry. Wood, stone, berries, everything we can get our hands on goes into storage. Su Muxue's eyes lit up. Our progress will skyrocket then. Skyrocket. Lin Yi smiled. We're blasting straight out of the atmosphere. The pair were too excited to sleep much that night. Dawn barely broke when Su Muxue's resource detection skill refreshed. They rushed straight into the forest. Su Muxue closed her eyes to sense for 3 seconds, then pointed rapidly in multiple directions. 20 meters northwest, 3 dead trees. 50 meters northeast, a berry bush patch. 120 meters southeast, a stream with clay deposits along the bank. Lin Yi didn't hesitate, hoisting the iron axe and charging for the dead trees. One clean swing split the trunk wide open, far more efficient than hammering rocks yesterday. He chopped a dead tree into over a dozen lumber segments in minutes, teleporting all of them into storage with a single thought. The 30 cubic meter space let him gather resources without restraint. Fallen dead trees? Store them. Loose stones? Store them. Berries? Dig up the whole bush, roots and all, store it. Stream clay? Haul 20 kilograms straight into storage. As they passed through the woods, Lin Yi spotted several thick sturdy vines, perfect for making rope. He stored them all away. There were abandoned bird nests scattered across the ground, each holding a handful of eggs. Into storage they went too. One tree bore unfamiliar bright crimson fruit that gave off a sweet aroma. He picked 20 of them and stowed every last one in his face. Su Muxue stared on, utterly dumbfounded. Your spatial storage isn't just a storage talent. It's like a locust swarm sweeping through everything. Survival's all about stockpiling supplies, no big deal. Lin Yi remained calm as he deposited the last lump of clay into his storage dimension. Glancing at the interface, he saw 28 of his 30 cubic meters were completely crammed full of resources. He pulled up his shelter panel. Upgrading to level 2 required 40 wood, 20 stone, and 10 units of food, all of which he already held in storage. No need to gather materials on the spot. The pair headed back to their shelter, and Lin Yi began pulling resources out of thin air. Stack after stack of wood thudded onto the ground. Piles of stone crashed down beside them. Berries and bird eggs were neatly set to one side. Watching mountains of supplies materialize out of nowhere, Su Muxue couldn't help clapping. This talent is completely overpowered. Other players cut down one tree then haul it back trip by trip. But you clear out an entire forest and bring everything back in one go. How countless trips did you save yourself? See? You made the right choice picking me back then. Lin Yi cracked a rare joke. A faint blush tinted Su Muxue's cheeks, yet she retorted sharply. That's not a given. What if your talent turned out to be useless trash? Does it look like trash to you now? It's a giant, juicy chicken drumstick, totally OP. Lin Yi chuckled without another word and strode over to the shelter core to initiate the upgrade. Consuming 40 units of wood, 20 units of stone, 10 units of food. Shelter upgrading, upgrade complete. Current shelter tier, crude wooden hut LV.2 defense rating, 100, sturdier than before, yet still unable to withstand attacks from medium-sized wild beasts. Shelter LV.3, timber cabin, requirements, 100 units wood, 50 units stone. Unlocked constructions, advanced workbench, for crafting basic metal tools, small farm plot, 8x8, storage chest, wooden animal traps. Rewards granted, complete iron tool set ×1, minor healing potion ×2. Player EXP plus 200. The instant the upgrade finished, a flood of system notifications popped up. Player level up. Current level, LV.2, 100 EXP held. EXP required for LV.3, 300. Constitution increased, 70-90, human maximum cap, 100. Brain domain capacity raised, 100-150, unique trait. Sanity value, 85, warning, sanity below 10 induces unconsciousness, 0 results in irreversible brain death. Your talent spatial storage has met upgrade criteria. Shelter LV.2 unlocked. Spatial storage advanced to LV.2, capacity expanded to 60 cubic meters. New talent awakened, mind-shaping body, S-Rank. Talent description: you may manipulate any object weighing under 50 kilograms with sheer mental focus. Control precision rises inversely with the object's weight. Control efficiency doubles with each talent level up. This felt incredible, absolutely amazing. After the upgrade, Lin Yi could feel his physical strength surging far beyond its previous limits. Su Mushue's constitution had also received a massive boost. The difference, though, was that Lin Yi had unlocked a second talent entirely. Manipulate anything under 50 kilos with his mind. Was he some kind of psychokinetic? Lin Yi drew a deep breath and focused his thoughts on a piece of lumber lying on the ground. The log instantly lifted off the dirt and hovered mid-air. Su Mushue's eyes widened in shock at the sight. Whoa, Lin Yi, is this your new talent? Yep. I can move anything lighter than 50 kilos now, including you. Lin Yi held out a hand. Su Mushue's body began to drift slightly off the ground. Lin Yi could now see the perfect rhythm of this survival game laid out before him. Upgrading the shelter boosted his talents. Stronger talents sped up resource gathering. Faster gathering yielded more supplies. More supplies let him upgrade the shelter once more. A flawless positive feedback loop. Su Mushue pulled up the global leaderboard, scanned the rankings, and froze solid. Lin Yi, her voice trembled slightly. Do you know what rank you're sitting at right now? What place am I? Su Mushue shared the leaderboard interface with him. Lin Yi's name stood clear at 8th position on the overall player power rankings. First, Qin Shuang 2nd, Xia Yojia 3rd, Wu Jing 8th, Lin Yi 9th, Zhao Tianlong. Zhao Tianlong sat directly behind him at 9th place. Su Mushue refreshed the page once and Lin Yi jumped to 7th. Another refresh, 6th. She hit the refresh button repeatedly, and his rank climbed one spot higher every single time. Within 5 minutes, Lin Yi had surged from outside the top 10 all the way into the top 5. Top-ranked Qin Shuang was also LV.2, matching Lin Yi's level, yet held slightly more EXP. Who's this Qin Shuang? Lin Yi frowned. Su Mushue shook her head. I've never heard of them. Might be a student from another university. Or just an ordinary civilian player. Lin Yi nodded, not overly bothered for the moment. Still, his sudden skyrocket up the leaderboard had detonated like a bomb across every survival chat channel. Survival global chat? Lin Yi's hit 6th place. Am I hallucinating? He was hundreds of ranks down just 10 minutes ago. Look how fast his resource gains are climbing, shooting up like a rocket. What's going on here? Is he hacking somehow? Cheats don't exist in the global survival system. He must have an absurdly powerful unique talent. Funny how everyone was bashing him yesterday, now no one's got a word to say. Zhao Tianlong got overtaken. He was top of the list yesterday, and now he's 9th. That wall reward Zhao Tianlong got only helped him early on. He's got no late-game potential. Lin Yi couldn't see any of these messages right now. He was busy setting up his newly unlocked small farm plot, planting the berry seeds he'd collected from the woods. He also molded several simple clay water jugs to line the eaves and collect rainwater. Meanwhile, Su Mushue tinkered with her brand new iron tool set at the workbench. Testing out the iron axe, pickaxe, and shovel one by one like a kid gifted brand new toys. This shovel digs dirt so fast. Su Mushue swung it a few times, carving a small pit into the earth. Once we finish the farm and grow our own food, we won't have to panic even after the 7-day safe period ends. System text pop-up, 3rd talent awakening requirement. Reach shelter LV.5, current progress, shelter LV.2/5. Lin Yi stared at the line for a long moment. He'd assumed every shelter level would unlock a new talent. Clearly, that wasn't the case. Spatial storage and mind-shaping body were already ridiculously overpowered. A 3rd S-rank talent would make him completely unbalanced. What are you staring at on the panel? Su Mushue wandered over, leaning her head so close it nearly rested on his shoulder. Lin Yi shared the interface with her. Su Mushue fell silent for 3 full seconds before speaking in a deadpan tone. Lin Yi, are you the system's golden child or something? I wish I knew the answer to that too. Su Mushue counted off on her fingers. And that's not even counting the fact your talents can level up on their own. Your abilities alone match an entire team of other players. Lin Yi closed the panel, his expression utterly unruffled. Let's finish the farm first. Unlocking a 3rd talent still requires LV.5 shelter, which is ages away. The pair got back to work. Lin Yi used the iron shovel to till 8 rows of soil. while Su Muxue followed behind sowing seeds and watering the plot. The instant the berry seeds hit the dirt, a system alert popped up. Small farm plot fully seeded. Estimated harvest time, 24 hours. Upon harvest, 20 to 30 units food, plus 50 player EXP. Lin Yi checked the time. They'd be able to gather the berries this time tomorrow. Right before the second day of the safe period concluded. Su Muxue knelt beside the farm bed, mud coating her hands, grinning as if she'd struck gold. I used to grow strawberries on my balcony once. It took 3 whole months just to get 2 tiny fruits, and birds ate both of them. This crop ripens in a single day. That's insane. It's just game mechanics. If we had to wait 3 months for food, everyone would starve long before harvest. Lin Yi stood and stretched his shoulders, gaze drifting to the empty ground surrounding their hut. He'd yet to build the wooden traps unlocked at shelter LV.2. Though unable to launch active defense, lining the shelter perimeter with them could at least slow down any creatures that wandered near after dark. He opened the construction menu, selected wooden trap, and confirmed the 5 would cost. System prompt: please select placement coordinates for the trap. Lin Yi circled the outer boundary of a shelter and placed 1 trap facing each of the 4 cardinal directions. Each trap resembled a massive animal snare, concealed beneath leaves and turf. Nearly invisible unless examined closely. What kind of creatures can these catch? Su Muxue stepped on the trap's edge. The metal jaws didn't shift an inch. The system description states they can restrain small and medium wild beasts. We won't know their full capability until we test them. Lin Yi paused. Though I'd rather not test them. A triggered trap means something dangerous is lurking nearby. Right as he finished speaking, noise echoed from the woods. Yet it wasn't footsteps this time, but a zone-wide system announcement. Zone announcement: player Qin Shuang has reached LV.3, becoming the first player in this zone to hit level 3. Rewards granted: C-rank weapon ×1, C-rank defense scroll ×1. Lin Yi and Su Muxue both snapped their heads up. LV.3? They'd only just hit LV.2. And this person was already a full tier higher? Su Muxue quickly pulled up the leaderboard and gasped sharply. This Qin Shuang has more than double your EXP total. How did they level that fast? Lin Yi did not reply. Instead, he opened Qin Shuang's player profile. Only their level and rank were visible. All other personal data remained hidden. Their avatar was a blank gray silhouette, gender completely unidentifiable. They're either a professional survival gamer or they also possess an S-rank talent. Lin Yi closed the profile panel, his tone calm and unperturbed. Doesn't matter much anyway. I'm only LV.2, no need to rush. He knelt down to finish covering the last trap with camouflage foliage, brushing mud off his palms. I've hit setbacks before. If someone outpaces me now, I'll just catch back up later. Su Muxue giggled. You have the steadiest mindset of anyone I've ever met. As they chatted, the shelter core glowed faintly. Lin Yi walked over and saw an unread system message sent by an ID labeled System Assistant. Detected abnormal talent awakening sequence for player Lin Yi. Initiating audit. Audit complete. No anomalous data found. Your unique talent awakening progression is an exclusive personal privilege. Continue your survival journey as normal. Exclusive personal privilege? Lin Yi reread those 4 words 3 times over. It meant the 1 talent per shelter level progression was not standard for every player, only for him. The survival system had essentially opened a special VIP channel just for him. So you're literally the chosen one? Su Muxue had read the message too, utterly flabbergasted. Other players pray and rely on luck just to unlock 1 talent. Meanwhile, the system's handing you power after power on a silver platter. Probably just because I'm good-looking. Lin Yi said with a completely straight face. Su Muxue rolled her eyes, yet a wide smile tugged relentlessly at her lips. Dusk fell fast, night arriving sooner than it had the first day. Lin Yi lit a fire inside the wooden hut and roasted the bird eggs and berries they'd gathered earlier. There were no seasonings, yet the warm food settled comfortably in their stomachs. Chewing a roasted berry, Su Muxue suddenly spoke up. Do you wonder how all the players who weren't selected are faring right now? Lin Yi fell silent for a moment. He'd thought about it plenty. Over 3 billion male players, countless left unchosen by female teammates. The system stated these players would be teleported randomly with 0 starting companions, trapped in a hellish opening difficulty curve. Talents in this world were ranked S, A, B, C, D, yet no rule confirmed the ranking ceiling. There might exist tiers even above S rank. Talents were not one-time only. Every player held a chance for a secondary awakening, though earning that opportunity would demand unimaginable hardship. I don't know. I just hope they're safe. They finished dinner in quiet contemplation. As usual, Lin Yi volunteered to take the first watch while Su Muxue slept. Deep into the night, low rumbling noises drifted out of the woods, louder and clearer than they'd been the previous evening. Lin Yi stood at the shelter's edge, a dagger hovering beside him via his psychokinesis. He locked his gaze on the sound source, every muscle along his back coiled tight with tension. The noise lingered for more than 10 seconds before cutting off abruptly. Lin Yi stared at the nearly empty water bottle in his hand. This marked their third day trapped in the survival zone. They'd secured enough food supplies, but their drinking water was almost gone. Only half a bottle of the water they'd brought from the real world remained. Lin Yi stood to wake Su Muxue. Dim light filtering through the window barely illuminated the hut. Su Muxue lay fast asleep, a faint dreamy smile playing on her lips. This girl really could sleep through anything. Lin Yi knelt beside her bed and poked her cheek gently. No response. He poked her again. Su Muxue rolled over, mumbling drowsily, "Quit bothering me." Lin Yi took a deep breath. "Su Muxue, we've run out of drinking water." 2 seconds of dead silence passed, then Su Muxue threw her blanket aside and shot upright, her hair sticking up wildly like a bird's nest. She patted the surrounding space frantically. "Water? Where's the water? It's all gone." "What do you mean it's gone?" Su Muxue's voice shot up an octave. "We still had most of a bottle yesterday." Lin Yi held out the plastic bottle. A tiny pool of liquid sloshed pitifully at the bottom. "You used half the bottle washing up last night, remember?" Su Muxue froze. "I didn't mean to waste it." "I know." Lin Yi stood and brushed dirt off his trousers. "That's why we need to find a water source now. Your resource detection talent, can it locate bodies of water?" A lump shifted under her sleeping bag, and Su Muxue poked half her head out, eyes darting away guiltily. "Theoretically, it should work." "Theoretically?" "I've never actively used the talent to search for water before. It works fine for wood and stone, so I assume it'll find water too." Lin Yi said nothing, merely stared at her with narrowed eyes. Su Muxue wilted under his gaze and scrambled to her feet, tying her hair back while grumbling. All right, I'll give it a shot. Happy now?" She stood in the center of the hut and closed her eyes. Lin Yi leaned against the wall and waited. 1 second. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. Su Muxue's cheeks flushed bright red, her brows knitting tighter and tighter. Lips pressed into a thin, tight line. 30 seconds passed, and she opened her eyes with an awkward expression. "I don't sense anything yet." Lin Yi exhaled slowly. "Try again. Focus all your attention on finding water." Su Muxue nodded and shut her eyes once more. This time she strained far harder, fists clenched tight. Breathing growing rapid as tiny beads of sweat dotted her forehead. 1 minute. 2 minutes. Her body trembled faintly, her flushed face straining pale. Then her eyes flew open wide. "I found it! There's a pool roughly 1 kilometer northwest of us. Let's head out immediately." The two walked one behind the other until they reached the pool, shrouded in thin wispy mist. The water's clarity felt unnaturally pristine. Lin Yi knelt down and cupped a handful of liquid in his palms. Scan result: spirit water, C-rank. Regular consumption improves physical constitution and heals minor common ailments. Warning: pools infused with spiritual energy often harbor strange, abnormal aquatic creatures. Proceed with extreme caution. Lin Yi's hand remained submerged as he read the alert. "What's wrong?" Su Muxue knelt beside him, reaching to scoop up a handful to drink. Lin Yi grabbed her wrist sharply, stopping her. "Don't touch it." "Why not?" "It's just water. I'm dying of thirst." Lin Yi showed her the system notification floating in front of him. Su Muxue's pupils blew wide, then narrowed in shock. "C-rank spirit water? Boosts constitution and cures sickness." Read the second warning line. Spirit-infused pools may host dangerous abnormal aquatic life. As soon as she finished reading, she snatched her hand back instantly and huddled closer to Lin Yi's side. "Lin Yi, don't scare me like that." "I'm not trying to frighten you." Lin Yi stood and scanned their surroundings. The pool spanned roughly half a basketball court, its surface smooth as a perfect mirror. Trees along the bank reflected crystal clear in the water. The clarity bordered on eerie. Not a single ripple disturbed the surface. "Maybe we just fill up our storage and leave right away?" Su Muxue suggested. "Agreed." Lin Yi stretched out a hand and channeled his spatial storage talent to absorb 10 cubic meters of spirit water into his dimension. This stockpile would last the pair months on end. They turned to depart after gathering the water, then something stirred beneath the surface. It wasn't a fish. It was a face. A deathly pale face with twisted, distorted features burst upward from the depths, pressing flat against the water's surface. Its eyes stayed shut, mouth slightly agape, resembling a corpse left soaking underwater for ages. Su Muxue screamed at the top of her lungs. She latched onto Lin Yi's arm, nearly clinging to his entire body. AC corpse. It's a corpse. Lin Yi startled as well, yet he retained his composure, unlike Su Muxue's panicked outburst. He stared at the floating face for 2 seconds and spotted the oddity. Though deathly white, there were no signs of rot or decay. Calm down. Lin Yi shook his arm gently to steady her. Look closely at it. Su Muxue squeezed her eyes shut tight. I won't look. It's not a corpse. It's a stone statue. What? Su Muxue cracked one eye open cautiously to glance over. It was indeed a sculpted face, carved from stone. The craftsmanship was frighteningly lifelike, and light reflecting off the submerged rock tricked the eye at first glance into mistaking it for a bloated human corpse. Its features looked serene, even carrying a faint, subtle smile. Its eyes were shut, as if it lay in peaceful slumber. Who would carve such a malicious statue and submerge it in water just to scare people? Su Muxue released her grip on Lin Yi's arm and patted her chest hard. You nearly gave me a heart attack. Lin Yi paid her no mind. He stared at the stone face for a long moment before suddenly plunging his hand into the pool. What are you doing? Su Muxue tensed up all over again. Lin Yi's fingers brushed the statue's stone chin and caught on a thin crack. He traced the crevice outward with his palm and realized the sculpture was far larger than it appeared. Only its head floated above the water, with the rest of its body hidden beneath the surface. He braced himself and gave it a firm heave. It did not shift an inch. Don't waste your strength. Su Muxue knelt down beside him. This thing has to weigh hundreds of kilos. You'll never move it alone. Lin Yi pulled his hand back and shook the water droplets off his wrist. This isn't an ordinary statue. Oh, really? How would you know that? Activate your detection talent. Lin Yi jerked his chin toward the pool. Su Muxue rolled her eyes, but closed her eyes anyway, channeling her resource detection ability. 3 seconds later, her eyes flew open, her expression shifting sharply. Holy hell. You sense something? This statue itself is a resource node, Su Muxue said, her tone complicated. But it's strange, all its data is encrypted. I can only tell what it is, not how to unlock it. Lin Yi's eyes lit up. What tier is it? B rank. Su Muxue swallowed hard. They locked eyes, both sharing the exact same thought. But a major problem stood between them. How were they supposed to haul this B rank statue out of the water, or activate it? Lin Yi knelt down again to study the stone face submerged in the pool carefully. This time he spotted a tiny detail. The slight parting of its mouth looked unnatural. Not a relaxed resting state. It was deliberately hollowed out, as if waiting for something to be slotted inside. Doesn't its mouth look, Lin Yi pointed toward it, like a keyhole? Su Muxue tilted her head and studied it for a long while. Now that you mention it, it does bear a resemblance. But standard keyholes are round, this opening's flat. A flat key, something like a card. Where are we supposed to find a card? A supermarket membership card. Lin Yi ignored her jab, his mind racing a mile a minute. C-rank spirit water, AB rank encrypted statue shaped like a keyhole mouth, the pieces clicked together. A conclusion hovering just out of reach. Just then, Su Muxue suddenly shuddered. Lin Yi, do you feel how cold it's gotten? Lin Yi blinked in surprise. The temperature had definitely plummeted over the past few minutes, though he'd initially blamed it on the chill of the spirit pool itself. He glanced upward at the sky. The sun still hung directly overhead. There was no logical reason for such frigid air. He looked back down at the pool and spotted something deeply unsettling. The curve of the stone face's lips had changed. Where there had only been a faint smile before, the corners now tugged upward far more distinctly, as if it was actively grinning. Su Muxue. Lin Yi lowered his voice to a sharp whisper. Step back. Slow and steady, don't run. Su Muxue had no idea what was happening, but Lin Yi's grave tone sent goosebumps crawling up her spine. She obeyed, retreating inch by inch. Lin Yi kept his gaze locked rigidly on the stone visage. Ripples began spreading outward in concentric circles all around the submerged head. The statue's smile stretched wider and wider. Its eyes remained sealed shut. Yet its serene expression twisted into something eerie, tainted with an insatiable greed. Without warning, a massive geyser erupted from the center of the pool. A colossal stone humanoid figure rose towering out of the water. It stood over 3 meters tall, its entire body ash gray, bearing the exact same facial features they'd seen floating on the surface. Eyes closed, lips pulled into that unnatural sinister grin. Its stone skin was crusted with moss and tangled water weeds, clear cracks snaking through its joints, yet the whole sculpture remained shockingly intact. Water cascaded down its frame in sheets, churning countless tiny bubbles as it dripped back into the pool. The giant statue slowly turned its stone head, fixing its gaze on Lin Yi and Su Muxue. Its mouth never parted, yet a voice echoed directly inside both of their minds. The Awakeners have finally arrived. Su Muxue's legs turned to jelly. She clung to Lin Yi's shoulder to avoid collapsing onto the mud. It's talking to us? Don't be afraid. Though the words left his mouth, Lin Yi's hand had already drifted to the dagger sheathed at his waist. The statue seemed to sense his movement, its grin stretching even further. A trivial dagger will have no effect on me. The mental voice reverberated cold and mechanical, utterly devoid of emotion. Rest easy, you two Awakeners. I am the pool guardian, bound to protect the inheritance hidden within this waters. What inheritance? Lin Yi asked. The C-rank spirit water, and the legacy sealed inside my body. Lin Yi raised an eyebrow. The inheritance is inside you? Precisely. The statue slowly opened its jaws, revealing an endless black void within its throat. Nothing discernible in the darkness. But to claim the legacy, you must pass my trial. What trial? The statue's eerie smile deepened. It is simple, the voice echoed. Only one of you two may live. Silence crashed over the clearing instantly. Su Muxue froze rigid, her lips trembling as she stared fearfully at Lin Yi. Lin Yi did not glance at her. His stare bored into the stone giant, his gaze turning icy cold. What did you say? Only one vessel can carry the inheritance, for it requires a complete, unbroken soul to activate, the statue stated flatly, as if commenting on the day's weather. Thus, one of you shall depart bearing the legacy. The other shall become the sacrifice required to awaken its power. 2 full seconds of heavy silence passed. Then Lin Yi suddenly laughed. It was no bitter, helpless chuckle, it was the dry, mocking laugh of someone who'd just heard a ridiculous joke. Why do you laugh? The statue rumbled. I'm laughing at how cliché your little scheme is. Lin Yi took a single step forward. This is a divide and conquer ploy. You want to goad us into killing each other so you can reap all the benefits without lifting a finger. I do not understand the words you speak. Of course you don't, you're just a statue following a script. Lin Yi tapped his temple. But my mind works perfectly fine. You said only one of us can take the inheritance, correct? That is correct. And what if we refuse to fight each other? Then the inheritance shall remain sealed within me for all eternity. Fine by me. Lin Yi dropped cross-legged onto the muddy ground without hesitation. We're not taking it. Farewell. Su Muxue's eyes bulged. Wait, just like that, we're leaving? What else would we do? Stay here and slaughter each other. Lin Yi brushed mud off his trousers and stood, truly turning to walk away. The statue's stone lips twitched. Its sinister grin fractured for the very first time. Halt. Lin Yi kept walking. I command you to stop. Lin Yi still did not slow his pace. A thunderous crash boomed from behind them as the statue lurched one massive step forward, sending the entire pool shaking violently. Do you truly believe you can walk away? Lin Yi finally paused and twisted around, a teasing, aggravating smirk tugging at his mouth. Oh? Now you won't let us leave just because we don't want your inheritance? Terrible customer service, I'm leaving a 1-star review. Su Muxue burst out laughing behind him. Exclusive personal privilege? Lin Yi reread those 4 words 3 times over. It meant the 1 talent per shelter level progression was not standard for every player, only for him. The survival system had essentially opened a special VIP channel just for him. So you're literally the chosen one? Su Muxue had read the message too, utterly flabbergasted. Other players pray and rely on luck just to unlock 1 talent. Meanwhile, the system's handing you power after power on a silver platter. Probably just because I'm good-looking. Lin Yi said with a completely straight face. Su Muxue rolled her eyes, yet a wide smile tugged relentlessly at her lips. Dusk fell fast, night arriving sooner than it had the first day. Lin Yi lit a fire inside the wooden hut and roasted the bird eggs and berries they'd gathered earlier. There were no seasonings, yet the warm food settled comfortably in their stomachs. Chewing a roasted berry, Su Muxue suddenly spoke up. Do you wonder how all the players who weren't selected are faring right now? Lin Yi fell silent for a moment. He'd thought about it plenty. Over 3 billion male players, countless left unchosen by female teammates. The system stated these players would be teleported randomly with 0 starting companions, trapped in a hellish opening difficulty curve. Talents in this world were ranked S, A, B, C, D, yet no rule confirmed the ranking ceiling. There might exist tiers even above S rank. Talents were not one-time only. Every player held a chance for a secondary awakening, though earning that opportunity would demand unimaginable hardship. I don't know. I just hope they're safe. They finished dinner in quiet contemplation. As usual, Lin Yi volunteered to take the first watch while Su Muxue slept. Deep into the night, low rumbling noises drifted out of the woods, louder and clearer than they'd been the previous evening. Lin Yi stood at the shelter's edge, a dagger hovering beside him via his psychokinesis. He locked his gaze on the sound source, every muscle along his back coiled tight with tension. The noise lingered for more than 10 seconds before cutting off abruptly. Lin Yi stared at the nearly empty water bottle in his hand. This marked their 3rd day trapped in the survival zone. They'd secured enough food supplies, but their drinking water was almost gone. Only half a bottle of the water they'd brought from the real world remained. Lin Yi stood to wake Su Muxue. Dim light filtering through the window barely illuminated the hut. Su Muxue lay fast asleep, a faint dreamy smile playing on her lips. This girl really could sleep through anything. Lin Yi knelt beside her bed and poked her cheek gently. No response. He poked her again. Su Muxue rolled over, mumbling drowsily, "Quit bothering me." Lin Yi took a deep breath. Su Muxue, we've run out of drinking water. 2 seconds of dead silence passed, then Su Muxue threw her blanket aside and shot upright, her hair sticking up wildly like a bird's nest. She patted the surrounding space frantically. Water? Where's the water? It's all gone. What do you mean it's gone? Su Muxue's voice shot up an octave. We still had most of a bottle yesterday. Lin Yi held out the plastic bottle. A tiny pool of liquid sloshed pitifully at the bottom. You used half the bottle washing up last night, remember? Su Muxue froze. I didn't mean to waste it. I know. Lin Yi stood and brushed dirt off his trousers. That's why we need to find a water source now. Your resource detection talent, can it locate bodies of water? A lump shifted under her sleeping bag, and Su Muxue poked half her head out, eyes darting away guiltily. Theoretically, it should work. Theoretically. I've never actively used the talent to search for water before. It works fine for wood and stone, so I assume it'll find water too. Lin Yi said nothing, merely stared at her with narrowed eyes. Su Muxue wilted under his gaze and scrambled to her feet, tying her hair back while grumbling. All right, I'll give it a shot. Happy now? She stood in the center of the hut and closed her eyes. Lin Yi leaned against the wall and waited. 1 second. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. Su Muxue's cheeks flushed bright red, her brows knitting tighter and tighter. Lips pressed into a thin, tight line. 30 seconds passed, and she opened her eyes with an awkward expression. I don't sense anything yet. Lin Yi exhaled slowly. Try again. Focus all your attention on finding water. Su Muxue nodded and shut her eyes once more. This time she strained far harder, fists clenched tight. Breathing growing rapid as tiny beads of sweat dotted her forehead. 1 minute. 2 minutes. Her body trembled faintly, her flushed face straining pale. Then her eyes flew open wide. I found it. There's a pool roughly 1 kilometer northwest of us. Let's head out immediately. The two walked one behind the other until they reached the pool, shrouded in thin wispy mist. The water's clarity felt unnaturally pristine. Lin Yi knelt down and cupped a handful of liquid in his palms. System scan result: Spirit water, C rank. Regular consumption improves physical constitution and heals minor common ailments. Warning: pools infused with spiritual energy often harbor strange, abnormal aquatic creatures. Proceed with extreme caution. Lin Yi's hand remained submerged as he read the alert. What's wrong? Su Muxue knelt beside him, reaching to scoop up a handful to drink. Lin Yi grabbed her wrist sharply, stopping her. Don't touch it. Why not? It's just water. I'm dying of thirst. Lin Yi showed her the system notification floating in front of him. Su Muxue's pupils blew wide, then narrowed in shock. C-Rank Spirit Water? Boosts constitution and cures sickness. Read the second warning line. Spirit-infused pools may host dangerous abnormal aquatic life. As soon as she finished reading, she snatched her hand back instantly and huddled closer to Lin Yi's side. Lin Yi, don't scare me like that. I'm not trying to frighten you. Lin Yi stood and scanned their surroundings. The pool spanned roughly half a basketball court, its surface smooth as a perfect mirror. Trees along the bank reflected crystal clear in the water. The clarity bordered on eerie. Not a single ripple disturbed the surface. Maybe we just fill up our storage and leave right away? Su Muxiue suggested. Agreed. Lin Yi stretched out a hand and channeled his spatial storage talent to absorb 10 cubic meters of spirit water into his dimension. This stockpile would last the pair months on end. They turned to depart after gathering the water, then something stirred beneath the surface. It wasn't a fish. It was a face. A deathly pale face with twisted, distorted features burst upward from the depths, pressing flat against the water's surface. Its eyes stayed shut, mouth slightly agape, resembling a corpse left soaking underwater for ages. Su Muxiue screamed at the top of her lungs. Oh! She latched onto Lin Yi's arm, nearly clinging to his entire body. AC corpse. It's a corpse. Lin Yi startled as well, yet he retained his composure, unlike Su Muxiue's panicked outburst. He stared defects at the floating face for 2 seconds and spotted the oddity. Though deathly white, there were no signs of rot or decay. Calm down. Lin Yi shook his arm gently to steady her. Look closely at it. Su Muxiue squeezed her eyes shut tight. I won't look, I won't look, I won't look. It's not a corpse. It's a stone statue. What? Su Muxiue cracked one eye open cautiously to glance over. It was indeed a sculpted face, carved from stone. The craftsmanship was frighteningly lifelike, and light reflecting off the submerged rock tricked the eye at first glance, into mistaking it for a bloated human corpse. Its features looked serene, even carrying a faint, subtle smile. Its eyes were shut, as if it lay in peaceful slumber. Who would carve such a malicious statue and submerge it in water just to scare people? Su Muxiue released her grip on Lin Yi's arm and patted her chest hard. You nearly gave me a heart attack. Lin Yi paid her no mind. He stared at the stone face for a long moment before suddenly plunging his hand into the pool. What are you doing? Su Muxiue tensed up all over again. Lin Yi's fingers brushed the statue's stone chin and caught on a thin crack. He traced the crevice outward with his palm and realized the sculpture was far larger than it appeared. Only its head floated above the water, with the rest of its body hidden beneath the surface. He braced himself and gave it a firm heave. It did not shift an inch. Don't waste your strength. Su Muxiue knelt down beside him. This thing has to weigh hundreds of kilos. You'll never move it alone. Lin Yi pulled his hand back and shook the water droplets off his wrist. This isn't an ordinary statue. Oh, really? How would you know that? Activate your detection talent. Lin Yi jerked his chin toward the pool. Su Muxiue rolled her eyes, but closed her eyes anyway, channeling her resource detection ability. 3 seconds later, her eyes flew open, her expression shifting sharply. Holy hell. You sense something? This statue itself is a resource node, Su Muxiue said, her tone complicated. But it's strange, all its data is encrypted. I can only tell what it is, not how to unlock it. Lin Yi's eyes lit up. What tier is it? B rank. Su Muxiue swallowed hard. They locked eyes, both sharing the exact same thought. But a major problem stood between them. How were they supposed to haul this B rank statue out of the water, or activate it? Lin Yi knelt down again to study the stone face submerged in the pool carefully. This time he spotted a tiny detail. The slight parting of its mouth looked unnatural. Not a relaxed resting state. It was deliberately hollowed out, as if waiting for something to be slotted inside. Doesn't its mouth look, Lin Yi pointed toward it, like a keyhole? Su Muxiue tilted her head and studied it for a long while. Now that you mention it, it does bear a resemblance. But standard keyholes are round, this opening's flat. A flat key, something like a card. Where are we supposed to find a card? A supermarket membership card. Lin Yi ignored her jab, his mind racing a mile a minute. C-rank spirit water, AB rank encrypted statue shaped like a keyhole mouth, the pieces clicked together. A conclusion hovering just out of reach. Just then, Su Muxiue suddenly shuddered. Lin Yi, do you feel how cold it's gotten? Lin Yi blinked in surprise. The temperature had definitely plummeted over the past few minutes, though he'd initially blamed it on the chill of the spirit pool itself. He glanced upward at the sky. The sun still hung directly overhead. There was no logical reason for such frigid air. He looked back down at the pool and spotted something deeply unsettling. The curve of the stone face's lips had changed. Where there had only been a faint smile before, the corners now tugged upward far more distinctly, as if it was actively grinning. Su Mushiue. Lin Yi lowered his voice to a sharp whisper. Step back. Slow and steady, don't run. Su Mushiue had no idea what was happening, but Lin Yi's grave tone sent goosebumps crawling up her spine. She obeyed, retreating inch by inch. Lin Yi kept his gaze locked rigidly on the stone visage. Ripples began spreading outward in concentric circles all around the submerged head. The statue's smile stretched wider and wider. Its eyes remained sealed shut. Yet its serene expression twisted into something eerie, tainted with an insatiable greed. Without warning, a massive geyser erupted from the center of the pool. A colossal stone humanoid figure rose towering out of the water. It stood over 3 meters tall, its entire body ash gray, bearing the exact same facial features they'd seen floating on the surface. Eyes closed, lips pulled into that unnatural sinister grin. Its stone skin was crusted with moss and tangled water weeds. Clear cracks snaking through its joints, yet the whole sculpture remained shockingly intact. Water cascaded down its frame in sheets, churning countless tiny bubbles as it dripped back into the pool. The giant statue slowly turned its stone head, fixing its gaze on Lin Yi and Su Mushiue. Its mouth never parted, yet a voice echoed directly inside both of their minds. The Awakeners have finally arrived. Su Mushiue's legs turned to jelly. She clung to Lin Yi's shoulder to avoid collapsing onto the mud. It's talking to us? Don't be afraid. Though the words left his mouth, Lin Yi's hand had already drifted to the dagger sheathed at his waist. The statue seemed to sense his movement, its grin stretching even further. A trivial dagger will have no effect on me. The mental voice reverberated cold and mechanical, utterly devoid of emotion. Rest easy, you two Awakeners. I am the pool guardian, bound to protect the inheritance hidden within this waters. What inheritance? Lin Yi asked. The SSS-Rank spirit water, and the legacy sealed inside my body. Lin Yi raised an eyebrow. The inheritance is inside you? Precisely. The statue slowly opened its jaws, revealing an endless black void within its throat. Nothing discernible in the darkness. But to claim the legacy, you must pass my trial. What trial? The statue's eerie smile deepened. It is simple, the voice echoed. Only one of you two may live. Silence crashed over the clearing instantly. Su Mushiue froze rigid, her lips trembling as she stared fearfully at Lin Yi. Lin Yi did not glance at her. His stare bored into the stone giant, his gaze turning icy cold. What did you say? Only one vessel can carry the inheritance, for it requires a complete, unbroken soul to activate, the statue stated flatly, as if commenting on the day's weather. Thus, one of you shall depart bearing the legacy. The other shall become the sacrifice required to awaken its power. 2 full seconds of heavy silence passed. Then Lin Yi suddenly laughed. It was no bitter, helpless chuckle, it was the dry, mocking laugh of someone who'd just heard a ridiculous joke. Why do you laugh? The statue rumbled. I'm laughing at how cliché your little scheme is. Lin Yi took a single step forward. This is a divide and conquer ploy. You want to goad us into killing each other so you can reap all the benefits without lifting a finger. I do not understand the words you speak. Of course you don't, you're just a statue following a script. Lin Yi tapped his temple. But my mind works perfectly fine. You said only one of us can take the inheritance, correct? That is correct. And what if we refuse to fight each other? Then the inheritance shall remain sealed within me for all eternity. Fine by me. Lin Yi dropped cross-legged onto the muddy ground without hesitation. We're not taking it. Farewell. Su Mushiue's eyes bulged. Wait, just like that, we're leaving? What else would we do? Stay here and slaughter each other. Lin Yi brushed mud off his trousers and stood, truly turning to walk away. The statue's stone lips twitched. Its sinister grin fractured for the very first time. Halt. Lin Yi kept walking. I command you to stop. Lin Yi still did not slow his pace. A thunderous crash boomed from behind them as the statue lurched one massive step forward, sending the entire pool shaking violently. Do you truly believe you can walk away? Lin Yi finally paused and twisted around, a teasing, aggravating smirk tugging at his mouth. Oh? Now you won't let us leave just because we don't want your inheritance? Terrible customer service, I'm leaving a 1-star review. Su Mushiue burst out laughing behind him. For the first time, Clear emotion flickered across the statue's stone face, not rage, but pure confusion. It had guarded the spirit pool for countless unknown years, witnessing countless souls drawn here by the promise of power. Never once had it encountered a youth who simply turned his back and walked away without a second thought. You do not crave greater strength? A hint of genuine bewilderment laced its mental voice. I do. You do not desire superior survival supplies? I want those too. Then why reject my trial? Lin Yi tilted his head and studied the giant stone figure. Because your trial is fundamentally flawed. In what way? What is the true purpose of this test you've devised? Lin Yi countered. The statue fell silent for a moment. To filter out those most worthy of claiming the inheritance. There's your flaw right there. Lin Yi spread his hands. You make us slaughter one another and declare the survivor the most worthy? That logic is complete nonsense. What if the one left standing is a useless weakling, and the one who died was the true genius? This screening system wouldn't even pass the first round of interviews at a corporate firm. The statue fell utterly silent. Furthermore, Lin Yi went on, his tone growing lighter and more casual. Does a true champion need to murder their own partner to prove their worth? What a warped set of values you hold. This isn't some battle royale deathmatch, this is survival. Survival relies on wits, not infighting. Su Muxue nodded vigorously beside him. Though she hadn't fully followed every word Lin Yi said, his reasoning struck her as utterly sound. A split second earlier, she genuinely feared Lin Yi might choose to sacrifice her for the inheritance. Now her trust in him settled solidly in her heart. The statue remained quiet for a very long stretch of time. The spirit pool stilled completely. Even the constant stream of bubbles rising from its depths vanished. The 3-meter stone giant stood motionless in the water, its expression shifting from confusion to deep contemplation, then melting into an unidentifiable, complex emotion. At last, the statue spoke again. Its voice lost its frigid mechanical edge, tinged instead with a faint thread of resignation. You human, you are far more intriguing than most. Dropping the act? Lin Yi raised an eyebrow. I was never performing an act. The statue let out a heavy sigh, a bizarre sight to witness from a lifeless stone sculpture. I was merely bound to follow the preordained rules laid upon me. However, the rules state that any challenger who uncovers the flaws within my trial may skip the elimination process entirely. Su Muxue's jaw dropped open. That's allowed. Rules are rigid, but I am alive and sentient. The statue's tone suddenly turned petulant. I've stood guard here for centuries. I get to make the final judgment. Do you have any complaints? None at all, none at all. Su Muxue waved her hands quickly in appeasement. The giant statue slowly lowered its head and parted its stone jaws. This time, the void within its throat was not pure black. Soft blue light glowed deep inside, shimmering like bioluminescence in the deep ocean. A hand stretched out from the statue's throat. It was no stone appendage, but a genuine human hand, pale, delicate, with long, slender fingers. Su Muxue gasped in shock. Another hand? Lin Yi stared in equal surprise. This twist had never crossed his mind. The hand extended further, followed by an arm, then shoulders. Finally, a girl dressed in a long white dress crawled fully out of the statue's open maw. She appeared 17 or 18 years old, barefoot, waist-length raven hair, skin so pale it looked nearly translucent. She stood effortlessly atop the pool's surface, not sinking an inch. When she opened her eyes, irises of soft pale blue stared back, clear and smooth as polished glass marbles. The girl tilted her head, glancing first at Lin Yi, then Su Muxue, a faint smile lifting her lips. My name is Aluo. To put it in terms you humans can understand, I am the spirit bound to this treasure. Su Muxue blinked. A treasure spirit? Exactly, the conscious soul inhabiting the inheritance artifact. Aluo twirled once atop the water, her white skirt billowing around her without disturbing a single drop of the pool's surface. Congratulations. You've passed the hidden trial and earned the complete inheritance. A hidden trial? Lin Yi latched onto the key phrase. Aluo nodded, her gaze lingering on him with undisguised admiration. The real test was never forcing you two to fight to the death. It was observing whether you would abandon your partner when faced with such an impossible choice. She paused. Hundreds of people have wandered to this pool over the centuries. Upon hearing only one could survive, nearly every single one immediately raised their weapons against the person beside them. Her blue eyes glimmered as she fixed her gaze on Lin Yi. You are the first who simply turned and walked away. Lin Yi shrugged casually. Sounds like all those others were fools. Not fools, selfish, Luo corrected him gently. Selfish souls never last long in this survival world. But you. She stepped abruptly forward until her face hovered mere centimeters from Lin Yi's. You fascinate me. Watching the scene unfold, Su Mushue's chest twisted with a faint twinge of unease. Ahem. She cleared her throat loudly. The inheritance? You said you'd give it to us. Luo stepped back and spread her arms wide. The entire spirit pool began to churn and boil, countless tiny glowing light motes rising from the water. They swirled and converged in her outstretched palms, finally condensing into a fist-sized crystal of vivid blue. The gem hovered midair, radiating a gentle cool glow. Luo held it out toward Lin Yi. Take this carefully, it is an A-rank inheritance treasure. Lin Yi froze. A rank? I thought the statue registered as B rank? Before he could process the shock, Luo pressed the crystal firmly into his palm. An icy chill spread from his fingertips to wrap around his entire body, as a flood of system alerts exploded across their vision. Ding! A rank inheritance artifact detected. Heart of the Water Spirit. Effect 1. Water Affinity. Automatically purify all water sources within a 10-meter radius. Effect 2. Fountain of Life. Generate 500 milliliters of spirit water daily. Quality improves alongside the wielder's level. Effect 3. Effect 4. Detected 2 bonded claimants. Adjusting binding parameters. Adjustment complete. Heart of the Water Spirit bound to Lin Yi and Su Mushue. Shared passive effects activated for both holders. Su Mushue received the same stream of notifications. After reading through them, she stood utterly stunned. 500 milliliters of spirit water every single day, and it gets better as we level up. Her voice trembled with excitement. That's basically carrying an endless spring with us everywhere we go. Lin Yi fell silent, staring down at the crystal nestled in his hand. He suspected things were far from this straightforward. Sure enough, Luo's next words confirmed his hunch. I've given you the inheritance, but there's just one small detail. She smiled slyly, like a mischievous fox. I'm coming with you too. What? Lin Yi and Su Mushue blurted in unison. I am the artifact spirit. Wherever the treasure goes, I must follow. Luo blinked innocently. Don't worry. I won't eat your supplies or take up extra space. I'll reside inside the heart of the water spirit most days, only emerging occasionally to stretch my legs. Su Mushue glanced instinctively at Lin Yi, her gaze wordlessly asking, Can we trust this girl? Before Lin Yi could reply, a racket of heavy footsteps and loud voices erupted from the distant woods. This way. I saw the glowing light up ahead. Hurry up, don't let anyone else snatch it first. Damn this thick forest, this trek's killing me. Luo's expression shifted into playful amusement instantly. Oh look, more challengers come to steal our treasure. Lin Yi narrowed his eyes, slipped the heart of the water spirit into his backpack, and turned to Su Mushue. Stow it securely, don't let anyone catch sight of it. Got it. Su Mushue zipped the pack shut tight and clutched it to her chest. The footsteps drew nearer, and 5 men emerged from the tree line. Their leader was a burly man with a buzz cut, wearing a tattered work jacket scavenged from somewhere. 4 equally menacing toughs trailed behind him. The brute's eyes zeroed in on a Luo standing atop the pool's water, lighting up greedily. Whoa, what's this? A girl standing out in the middle of the pool. One of his lackeys nudged his elbow. Boss, she's not standing on a boat, she's standing straight on the water's surface. The tough leader finally registered the oddity, his face flickering with shock before hardening back into arrogant hostility. Hey, you two. He jilted a finger at Lin Yi and Su Mushue. Everything here belongs to us. Hand over all your supplies and get lost if you know what's good for you. Su Mushue subconsciously edged closer to Lin Yi's side. Lin Yi stared at the group, dumbfounded. I thought teleportation scattered everyone randomly. How is this zone small enough for 5 random survivors to run into each other this easily? Though he wondered internally, dealing with these thugs would be trivial for him. He glanced at the burly leader, then swept his gaze over the 4 lackeys, and suddenly grinned. You claim everything's yours just because you say so? Who even are you? The brute's face darkened. Kid, I'd advise you not to bite off more than you can chew. Do you know what rank our boss Long holds on the survivor leaderboard? Nope, and I couldn't care less. Lin Yi's tone was as bland as commenting on mild weather. One of the underlings cut in immediately. Our boss Long's ranked 87th. Our squad's the strongest within a 10-kilometer radius. Lin Yi turned his head towards Su Mushue. What's your ranking? Sumushiwa blinked, pulled open her system panel and checked. 12th. Dead silence blanketed the clearing. The tough leader's face contorted through a whirlwind of emotions in under 2 seconds: arrogant confidence, stunned shock, utter disbelief, then nervous cowardice. T12th place. The lackey's voice cracked completely. Sumushiwa nodded and held up her glowing panel for them all to see. Boss Long's face drained pale in an instant. There were 5 million players in Zone A123. The leaderboard ranked all survivors by comprehensive overall strength. Anyone within the top 100 was a terrifying powerhouse. Those inside the top 50 were undisputed elites. 12th place? The gap between them was unimaginable. This is all a misunderstanding, a huge misunderstanding. Thick muscles on Boss Long's face twitched as he forced a grin far uglier than a sob. We were just passing through, nothing more. Earlier you demanded we hand over all our supplies, didn't you? Lin Yi drawled slowly. No, you misheard me entirely. I meant we'd hand our supplies over to you. Boss Long spun around and kicked one of his men hard. What are you standing there gawking for? Pull all the water bottles out of your packs. The 4 underlings exchanged helpless glances, but reluctantly pulled 2 bottles of water each and set them on the mud. Boss Long smiled nervously. A tiny token of our respect. Please don't take offense. Lin Yi glanced at the 2 bottles, then back at Boss Long. Leave. Boss Long looked as though a massive weight had lifted off his shoulders. He herded his men away, scrambling off into the woods in a frantic rush. Sumushiwa watched their retreating backs and burst out laughing. They folded that easily? Total cowards. It's not cowardice, it's intelligence. Lin Yi picked up the 2 water bottles and handed them to Sumushiwa. In this world, knowing when to back down matters far more than knowing when to pick a fight. A Luo had drifted silently to Lin Yi's side without them noticing, tilting her head to study him. You human, you grow more fascinating by the minute. Lin Yi ignored her and glanced upward at the fading daylight. We need to head back. A Luo stretched lazily, dissolving into a streak of blue light that vanished inside the heart of the water spirit in the backpack. Sumushiwa clutched the pack tight and followed Lin Yi down the forest trail. After walking several paces, she spoke up suddenly. Lin Yi. Did you know that trial was fake from the very start? Lin Yi's footsteps faltered, but he did not turn around. Just a guess. What if your guess had been wrong? Lin Yi fell silent for 2 beats, his voice quiet yet crystal clear. Then I would have taken the gamble. Gambled that you would never raise a hand against me, and that I would never harm you either. Sumushiwa bowed her head, tightening her grip around the backpack pressed to her chest. A warm, sweet warmth bloomed softly in her heart. The 2 walked single file along the narrow winding path cutting through the thick woods. By the time they returned to the wooden hut, night had fully fallen. Before heading back, the 2 had scoured the forest and gathered plenty of supplies. They would likely have enough materials to upgrade their shelter to level 3 by the next day. Lin Yi pushed open the wooden door, and pitch blackness greeted them inside. Sumushiwa flicked on a flashlight Lin Yi had brought from their original world. Its faint beam barely lit up the cramped space of less than 20 square meters. A wooden plank bed, a rough-hewn timber table, and 2 stools carved from tree stumps. These were their only possessions. Lin Yi glanced over their shabby furnishings. We'll need to gather more supplies tomorrow to craft proper furniture. Sumushiwa set her backpack down on the table. A faint blue glow seeped out from the heart of the water spirit tucked inside, bathing the entire hut in a dreamlike hue. We hit the jackpot today. Clutching the crystal tightly, Sumushiwa grinned like an overjoyed child. C-rank spirit water, an A-rank inheritance, and even an artifact spirit. This haul is absolutely unbeatable. Lin Yi leaned against the wall without a word. Sumushiwa caught the pensive look on his face. What's wrong? Are you upset? Not upset. Lin Yi massaged his temples. I'm just thinking, this is an A-rank inheritance. It couldn't have been handed to us this easily. Also, didn't you find the last thing A Luo said odd? Which line? I have to come with you too. Lin Yi repeated the phrase. She said have to, not I want to. Sumushiwa blinked in confusion. Is there a difference? Massive difference. Lin Yi walked over to the table and stared at the glowing blue crystal. I want means a voluntary choice. I have to implies obligation. What's forcing her to tag along? Or more precisely, who commanded her to follow us? The temperature inside the hut seemed to drop several more degrees. The blue light of the heart of the water spirit flickered once, and a Luo's voice drifted out from within, tinged with helplessness. You humans, Can you really not let anything slip past your sharp senses? A faint smirk tugged at Lin Yi's lips. I knew there was more to it. A luo floated out of the crystal and perched on the edge of the table, swinging her bare feet back and forth. Fine, since you figured it out, I'll be straight with you. She fixed her gaze on Lin Yi. The heart of the water spirit counts as an A-rank inheritance only because it's merely an activation key. Activation key for what? A luo held up one finger and pointed straight down at the dirt floor. 300 meters beneath our feet lies a B-rank ruin. Su Muxue nearly dropped the cup in her hands. A B-rank ruin? That's right. A luo hopped off the table, her bare soles touching the muddy ground. The heart of the water spirit is just the key. The real treasure is buried underground. But what? Lin Yi pressed. A luo took a deep breath. The guardian of that ruin is S-rank. Complete silence swallowed the hut. The candle flame flickered twice, casting wavering shadows across the wooden walls. Lin Yi locked eyes with a luo. Reflected in her pale blue irises was his own expression, not fear, not hesitation, but pure excitement. S-rank. Lin Yi let out a laugh. Now this is interesting. It sounds like this B-rank ruin is far from ordinary. Su Muxue shuddered at the sight of his eager grin. What are you planning to do? She asked cautiously. Lin Yi picked up the heart of the water spirit from the table and closed his hand around it, feeling its icy coolness seep into his veins. It's far too late tonight. Let's get some sleep first. Lin Yi yawned widely. I have a rule, I never make major decisions after dark. Su Muxue shot him a skeptical look. Are you sure it's not just laziness? That's also a possibility. Lin Yi admitted openly. Su Muxue rolled her eyes and wriggled into her sleeping bag. A luo glanced between the two of them, a faint smile tugged at her mouth, before dissolving into a streak of blue light and slipping back into the crystal. The candle snuffed out. In the all-consuming darkness, only the heart of the water spirit glimmered faintly at intervals, like a silent countdown ticking away. Lin Yi closed his eyes, yet his mind raced nonstop. A B-rank ruin, guarded by an S-rank entity. And a luo's unfinished sentence echoed in his head. But the guardian of that ruin is S-rank. A pause hung heavy in the air, then her quiet voice finished the thought, fading into the blackness. And it has already woken up. Su Muxue rolled over, mumbled a sleepy "quit messing around," and sank back into deep slumber. Lin Yi stared at the crack running across the wooden ceiling, every nerve in his body taut. An S-rank guardian, awake and stirring. What did this mean? It meant the B-rank ruin beneath their feet was no longer dormant, waiting quietly to be unsealed. Whatever form that guardian took, it was already active. If they left it undisturbed, it shouldn't be provoked. Besides, they were still within the 7-day safe period. There shouldn't be any immediate danger. Lin Yi shut his eyes and forced himself to count sheep. 1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, 4 sheep. Heart of the water spirit, 5 sheep. Damn it, he couldn't fall asleep. He opened his eyes, sat up on the bed, and retrieved his dagger from his spatial storage in the dark. His system panel flickered to light in the blackness. Name, Lin Yi. Talent, mind-shaping body, S-rank, can manipulate objects, current maximum weight, 50 kilograms. Spatial storage, 60 cubic meters. Days survived, 4. A 50-kilogram weight limit was theoretically more than enough. A single dagger weighed roughly 300 grams. He could control over 100 of them at once. The problem was he only owned one. I need to get my hands on more weapons, Lin Yi muttered to himself. What kind of weapons? Lin Yi nearly jumped out of his skin. He twisted to see a luo floating beside the bed without a sound, her bare feet hovering 10 centimeters above the ground. Can you stop scaring people in the middle of the night? I'm an artifact spirit. I don't need sleep. A luo spoke matter-of-factly. You said you need weapons. What kind exactly? Daggers, throwing knives, iron nails, anything will do. Lin Yi gestured vaguely. My talent lets me control objects from a distance, but I need something to wield. A luo tilted her head in thought. What do you have stored in your space right now? Lin Yi mentally scanned his inventory. Vast quantities of spirit water, 1 dagger, 2 packs of compressed biscuits, a handful of bird eggs and wild berries, 3 empty bottles, and a hammer scavenged from ruins. He hadn't stowed his other iron tools inside the storage space. That's all. Yep, that's everything. A luo's expression turned peculiar, as if she was holding back laughter. A dignified S-rank talent wielder, and this is all you've managed to gather? We've only been trapped here 4 days, miss. You think I had time to stockpile supplies like a pre-holiday shopping spree? Luo burst out laughing, then quickly clamped a hand over her mouth and nodded towards Su Mushue's sleeping form. Lin Yi lowered his voice. Did you actually come for something important? If not, I'm going back to sleep. I do have news. Luo drifted closer, her pale blue irises glowing softly in the dark. I haven't told you everything about the ruin. What information? That S-Rank guardian wasn't always roaming the ruin. Luo's voice dropped to a whisper. It was sealed away in the deepest level. The moment the heart of the water spirit was removed, the seal began to fray. Lin Yi's pupils constricted sharply. You mean, if the seal breaks completely, everything within a 10-kilometer radius will be reduced to ashes? What do we do then? Thankfully, the seals only loosened slightly. It will take roughly another full year for it to crumble entirely. Lin Yi exhaled in relief. Thank goodness. If it broke free now, we'd all be done for. He closed his eyes and replayed the timeline in his head. He'd obtained the heart of the water spirit on the 3rd day of their transmigration. It was now the early hours of day 4. Facing an S-rank creature this soon would make their survival difficulty absurdly unforgiving. Why didn't you tell us this sooner? Would you have left the heart of the water spirit behind if I had? Luo shot back. Lin Yi opened his mouth to reply, then clamped it shut again. Turning down an A-rank inheritance would be foolish. But the cost of claiming it was far higher than he'd imagined. All right, I understand the situation now. Lin Yi lay back down and stowed the dagger back into his spatial storage. Tomorrow we focus on expanding our base and laying solid foundations first. Luo blinked. You're not scared. What good would fear do? None at all. Then there's no point dwelling on it. Lin Yi closed his eyes. Sleep. We'll tackle every problem tomorrow, no matter how big. We still have plenty of time to prepare. All hope isn't lost yet. Luo stared at him for several seconds, a slow smile spreading across her face. She dissolved into blue light and slipped back into the heart of the water spirit, plunging the hut into darkness once more. Lin Yi lay awake, staring at the ceiling, and only drifted into a fitful sleep as faint dawn light seeped through the cracks in the walls. Lin Yi. Lin Yi. Lin Yi. Su Mushue's voice blared like an alarm clock. Lin Yi jolted upright, nearly tumbling off the wooden plank bed. What's going on? Look at this. Su Mushue held up the heart of the water spirit, her face practically pressed against the crystal surface. Luo said this artifact automatically purifies water sources. I just tested it, guess what happened? What? Su Mushue handed him a cup of clear liquid. Lin Yi took it and inspected it. The water was crystal clean, with a thin layer of dark gray flocculent sediment settled at the bottom of the cup. This was muddy stream water I scooped up a minute ago, filtered through the heart of the water spirit. Su Mushue's voice trembled with excitement. All the grime separated out in less than 10 seconds. And Luo said this is only its minimum purification efficiency. Once we level up, its cleansing range and speed will both improve. Lin Yi studied the cup, his mind racing to process the implications. He knew exactly how valuable this ability was. In this survival world, clean drinking water was the most basic yet rarest resource of all. With the heart of the water spirit, they would have more than enough for themselves, and could trade excess purified water to other survivors for supplies. Lin Yi set the cup down. If word of this artifact gets out, every squad within 10 kilometers will come after us to seize it. I know that much, I'm not stupid. Su Mushue tucked the crystal safely inside her backpack. What's our plan for today? Gather more supplies? Lin Yi checked the system time, 7:30 in the morning. Yep. Lumber, stone, food, we need to stock up on all 3. Our goal is to upgrade the shelter to level 3. For days after their arrival in this strange realm, the world still felt eerie and unpredictable. Lin Yi drew a deep breath. Which way do we head? Su Mushue slung her backpack over her shoulders, clutching the heart of the water spirit in one hand. Lin Yi scanned their surroundings, quickly retracing the exploration route they'd taken the previous day in his mind. West. He pointed toward the tree line. Why west? When we were at the spirit pool yesterday, I spotted a forest to the west. The trees there aren't fully withered, so there should be plenty of usable lumber. Lin Yi paused. With any luck, we might also find wild fruit or small game in those woods. Makes sense. Let's go. The two walked single file toward the west. They crossed a stretch of broken stone rubble, and the forest came into full view ahead. Just as Lin Yi had observed, the trees here were in far better condition than those anywhere else. Most were still alive, though most of their leaves had fallen off, Their thick, sturdy trunks made premium lumber. Su Mushue's eyes lit up. This timber is perfect. More than enough to craft all the furniture we need. Hold off on celebrating, we need to check for hazards first. Lin Yi unleashed his mental power, sweeping it deep into the forest like a radar signal. No large dangerous creatures detected. Clear. Let's head in. Su Mushue darted in first, wandering around as if she'd stepped into a free supermarket, running her hands over the trunks of the nearest trees. This one's great, that one's good too, and this one, she suddenly froze. Lin Yi, come look at this. Lin Yi walked over and followed the line of her pointing finger. Clustered around the base of a large tree was a patch of dark brown mushrooms, with thick, fleshy caps marked with fine, intricate patterns. System notification. Brown spirit mushroom, D rank. Edible. Restores a small amount of stamina when cooked. Raw consumption may trigger mild hallucinations. A D rank ingredient? Su Mushue's eyes went wide. It's edible and replenishes stamina? Harvest them. Lin Yi knelt down and carefully twisted each mushroom free at the root. Pull them out whole. Maybe they'll regrow if we leave the roots intact. Su Mushue knelt beside him to help. After a few minutes of work, they'd collected over 20 brown spirit mushrooms of varying sizes. Lin Yi stored all of them inside his spatial storage. The 60 cubic meter dimension barely registered such a tiny haul, not even filling a single corner of the space. Let's press deeper into the woods. The forest grew denser the further they ventured, the trees packed tighter together, and thick weeds carpeted the ground. Lin Yi noticed the grass here was noticeably greener than anywhere outside the woods. Clumps of wild vegetation jostled against one another, as if fighting for territory. The spiritual energy concentration here is far higher than outside. A Luo's voice drifted out from Su Mushue's backpack. Picked it. Lin Yi squatted down and twisted the mushroom gently free from its roots. Pull them out whole. Maybe they'll grow back. Su Mushue joined him in gathering fungi. After a few minutes of work, they'd collected over 24 brown spirit mushrooms of all sizes. Lin Yi stowed every last one into his spatial storage. The 60 cubic meter space barely registered a dent from such a small haul. Let's head deeper. The forest grew denser further in. Trees stood closer together, and weeds thickened across the forest floor. Lin Yi noticed the grass here was far lusher than anywhere else. Clumps of wild plants crowded one another, as if fighting for territory. The spiritual energy concentration here is higher than outside. Aluo's voice drifted out from the backpack. There's probably a spirit vein underground. A spirit vein? Su Mushue glanced back at the bag. Underground mineral lodes rich in spiritual power, ranked by tier F at the lowest, SSS at the highest, Aluo explained. If we can locate one and build a base atop it, our cultivation speed will double. Meaning our level up rates would double, by your logic. Lin Yi paused mid-step. Spirit veins, permanent bases, doubled cultivation speed. He knew exactly what those 3 words combined promised, a long-term, sustainable settlement. Yet he quickly pushed the thought aside. Right now, filling their bellies and stockpiling construction materials took priority. They could worry about spirit veins only if they lived long enough to reach that stage. They walked another 100 meters forward, and the woods suddenly opened up into a clearing. Scattered across the ground were countless broken stones and splintered lumber. This had clearly been a small quarry once. Most importantly, among the rubble lay several stones that were anything but ordinary rock. Lin Yi stepped over, knelt, and tapped one. System prompt, blue streak stone, grade D construction material, high hardness, excellent toughness, ideal for erecting sturdy structures. Score. Lin Yi patted the stone's surface. Walls built with this stuff are more than 3 times sturdier than timber ones. Su Mushue knelt beside him, brushing her fingers over the swirling veins running through the stone. It's got such pretty patterns on it too. Lin Yi stood and stored all the blue streak stones into his spatial storage. Mushue, use your resource sensing talent and check if there are other supplies nearby. Got it. Su Mushue closed her eyes to activate her sense. But her smile froze instantly. She'd sensed something. 300 meters west, a massive metal signature blazed on her perception. Regional announcement, survivor Ao Lei discovered an armory in the southwest ruins. Obtain ×5 grade D weapons, ×1 grade C weapon. Overall combat power greatly increased. Lin Yi's brows knitted tight as he stared at the notification. 5 grade D weapons and 1 grade C weapon. That man's luck was outrageous. The pair pushed through a thicket of bushes. Half buried in the earth lay a metal plate etched with intricate carvings. Sumushiwa spun around, equal parts excited and nervous. I detected that massive metal signal right here. She nodded at the earthen slope beneath their feet. Guess what's underneath? Lin Yi knelt and ran a hand over the metal plate. The surface was icy cold, and faint ripples of energy hummed against his fingertips. Quit beating around the bush. Sumushiwa drew a deep breath. Beneath us is an abandoned underground bunker. It has a sealed chamber of at least 20 square meters, and she hesitated. There are weapons inside. What kind? I can't tell precisely, but at least 2 grade C arms, plus piles of miscellaneous metal gear. She swallowed hard. The problem is getting in. The hatch is locked tight. I already tried prying it open, no luck. Lin Yi stood and studied the metal plate for several seconds, then grinned. Can't open it, huh? He pulled a dagger out of his spatial storage and hefted it lightly. Watch what real lockpicking looks like. Lin Yi raised the dagger, ready to wedge it into the plate seam. Wait, hold on. Sumushiwa grabbed his wrist. You're just gonna pry it raw like that? What if you wreck everything inside? You got a better plan? Sumushiwa chewed her lip, then her eyes lit up. Aluo, come out here. A flash of blue light spilled from the backpack as Aluo floated out, rubbing her eyes like she'd just woken from a nap. What's up? Take a look at this hatch. Can you break the lock? Aluo drifted over to the metal slab, tilted her head to examine it, and stroked the carved runes. Whoa, an ancient seal, at least 50 years old. Can you undo it? Lin Yi asked. Aluo rolled her eyes. I'm a grade A artifact spirit. This is only a grade D seal. What do you think? She pressed her palm flat against the metal plate and chanted a string of unintelligible incantations. The carvings on the slab suddenly blazed dim crimson red. Then crack. A fissure split the plate down its center, and the two halves slid slowly apart. A damp gust thick with rust fumes billowed out from the bunker. Sumushiwa pinched her nose and stepped backward. What's that awful stench? No one set foot in this cellar for decades. Lin Yi pulled a lighter from storage and flicked the flame at the entrance. The flame didn't sputter out, air circulation was safe. Let's go take a look. Lin Yi ducked inside first, Sumushiwa close on his heels, and Aluo floated overhead. The passage was narrow, only wide enough for one person at a time. Rough stone walls crusted with moss lined the sides, and puddles covered the floor. Every step squelched loudly through the standing water. After walking roughly 10 meters, the tunnel opened into the main chamber. Sumushiwa pulled a flashlight from her pack and switched it on. The 20-square-meter bunker held rows of wooden shelves bolted to the walls, cluttered with random debris. An iron table sat dead center, strewn with tools and mechanical parts, and a rusted metal cabinet stood in the corner with its door hanging ajar. But what drew their full attention were 3 weapons propped against the far wall. A bow, a short blade, and a spear. Sumushiwa rushed forward, sweeping the flashlight beam across each weapon. System prompt: Hunting bow, grade D, effective range 50 meters, grants precision correction buff. System prompt: Fine iron short sword, grade C, sharpness plus 20, durability 80 out of 100. System prompt: Ironwood spear, grade C, armor penetration plus 15, durability 70 out of 100, grade C gear. Sumushiwa hugged the short sword and spear, grinning from ear to ear. Lin Yi ignored the weapons for the moment and walked over to the metal cabinet, yanking its door fully open. Rows of metal arrowheads lined the shelves, at minimum 50 pieces. There were also 3 shovels, 2 pickaxes, and a coil of steel cable. Without hesitation, Lin Yi stored everything in his spatial space. Sumushiwa glanced back and spotted more items on the wooden racks, several yellowed notebooks, a tin box, and a bundle wrapped in oiled paper. She unfolded the oil paper. Inside lay hard, dark brown blocks reeking of a strange, unpleasant odor. What's this? Ration bars? Lin Yi took one to inspect. System prompt: Military compressed rations expired, fully spoiled. 50 poisoning risk upon consumption. Don't touch those, they're long expired. Sumushiwa tossed the bundle aside in disgust. Aluo floated over to the stack of notebooks and flipped through them, letting out a small gasp. What's wrong? This person, he was an engineer. Aluo pointed at hand-drawn schematics inside. Look, blueprints for this bunker, designs for all kinds of tools. He must have died early after the dimensional shift, leaving all these behind for decades. Lin Yi picked up a notebook and leafed through its pages. The handwriting was messy yet packed with invaluable information, step-by-step guides for crafting simple tools, trap schematics, even construction plans for small defensive fortifications. We're taking these. Lin Yi tucked the notebooks into storage. They're worth more than any weapon. Su Muxiue turned back to the tin box and pried it open. It held jumbled small hardware, several flintstones, plus one faded photograph. The photo depicted a middle-aged man in work overalls standing amid ruins, his expression stern and somber. Scrawled across the back in ink was a single line. Day 100 after the shift, still alive. Su Muxiue stared at those 6 characters in silence for a long beat. Day 100 after the shift, still alive. 6 plain words, yet they filled the damp, shadowy bunker with a heavy, somber weight. Let's go. Lin Yi tapped her shoulder. We've grabbed everything worth taking. Su Muxiue nodded. The 3 of them climbed back out of the bunker, where harsh sunlight stung their eyes. Su Muxiue squinted and stretched lazily. Today's haul was amazing. We scored so many valuable supplies. Before Lin Yi could reply, rapid footsteps echoed from the distance. 2 figures emerged from the trees, a young man and woman, both wearing faded gray tracksuits, gasping for breath. The man froze when he spotted Lin Yi and Su Muxiue, then his eyes locked onto the fine iron short sword in Su Muxiue's grip, lighting up instantly. Hey buddy, did you 2 come out of that underground bunker? Lin Yi said nothing, stepping slightly forward to shield Su Muxiue behind him. Realizing his blunt question sounded suspicious, the man forced a friendly smile. Easy there, we mean no harm. I'm Lu Yang, this is my sister Lu Yu. We've been camped out in a cave west of here. We spotted movement over here and came to check it out. We saw it. You can leave now. Lin Yi's tone remained flat and unyielding. Lu Yang's smile faltered for a split second before he recovered it. Let's cut the small talk, yeah? You 2 clearly looted most of the gear from that bunker. We don't want everything, just one weapon. We'll trade for it fair and square. What for you got to offer? Lu Yang pulled a plastic bag from his backpack, revealing several dark, lumpy chunks inside. Homemade dried meat, all natural with 0 additives. Su Muxiue leaned in for a look and muttered quietly, that looks even worse than those expired ration bars we found. Lu Yang's face darkened with embarrassment. Hey miss, that's unfair judgment. It doesn't look pretty, but it's solid food. Lu Yu chimed in beside him. She's right, brother. You 2 pulled off opening that bunker, that's impressive, but you can't possibly use all those weapons alone. What's the harm in giving us one? Su Muxiue bristled at that. What do you mean, what's the harm? We cracked that hatch through our own efforts. Why would we hand over our loot to you? Come on, don't be so unreasonable. Lu Yang's words died mid-sentence. He'd watched Lin Yi draw the ironwood spear out of spatial storage. The spear's tip glinted cold and sharp under the sunlight. Lu Yang's pupils shrank, and he unconsciously stumbled half a step backward. Buddy, what's this supposed to mean? Nothing at all. Lin Yi drove the spears, but into the dirt. Just proving we don't need your measly dried meat. You! Lu Yang's face flushed bright red with anger. Lu Yu tugged his sleeve and whispered, brother, let's just go. Lu Yang ground his teeth, staring daggers at Lin Yi for several long seconds before spinning away. He took a few steps then glanced back, tossing a sharp warning over his shoulder. Watch your back, kid, don't get cocky. Lin Yi's expression stayed blank and emotionless. If Lu Yang had made even one hostile move just now, the iron spear would have pierced straight through his throat in an instant. Once the pair vanished into the trees, Su Muxiue let out a long breath and poked Lin Yi's back. You were pretty intimidating back there. Was I? You totally humiliated them. Lin Yi stowed the spear and shrugged. If they come back, I won't hold back next time. Aluo floated nearby, having watched the entire exchange, and offered a dry observation. That man's no good news. His eyes held malice when he left. I noticed. Lin Yi glanced toward the direction Lu Yang had fled. If he dares come looking for trouble, it'll be far worse than a mere humiliation. The sun dipped westward. Lin Yi tallied his spatial inventory. Ordinary lumber, times 6 blue-streaked stones, times 1 ironwood spear, times 1 fine iron short sword, times 1 hunting bow, 50 metal arrowheads, times 3 shovels, times 2 pickaxes, 1 coil steel cable, times 3 engineer's notebooks, 24 brown spirit mushrooms, plus miscellaneous small hardware. Our next task is gathering lumber. Lin Yi pulled an iron axe from storage. Guided by his mental power, he swung once. A massive jungle tree crashed to the ground and automatically decomposed into 10 units of timber. In only minutes, Lin Yi collected 155 units of lumber. On the walk back to the wooden cabin, he gathered piles of ordinary stone as well. He noticed stone volume didn't determine unit count. Some huge boulders counted as one single unit, just like tiny pebbles. Felled trees, however, decomposed into standardized equal-volume lumber units. With all new supplies added, his spatial storage utilization jumped from 12 to 92. We've gathered enough. Let's hurry back. Halfway home, a system notification popped up unannounced. Regional announcement, Survivor Zhao Lei, eliminated Grade D Dormant Mutant Beast, Red-Eyed Wolf. Obtained plus 500 experience points, times 1 talent fragment. Su Muxue blinked in surprise. Zhao Lei? The same guy who found the armory we saw announced earlier. Lin Yi halted his steps. First he stumbles on a full armory, then slays a Grade D mutant beast right after. He narrowed his eyes. That man's far from ordinary. Do you know him? Never met him. Lin Yi resumed walking. We'll cross paths eventually. Why? Because we're determined to survive until the very end. Lin Yi pushed open the cabin door. There's a limited pool of valuable resources in this zone, finders keepers. We claimed the water spirit heart. He claimed the armory. We're both operating in the same territory. A confrontation is inevitable sooner or later. Su Muxue set down her backpack and sat on the bed, clutching the water spirit heart, her expression tight with unease. Do you think he's stronger than us? His luck is unmatched, that's for certain. Lin Yi laid the hunting bow on the table after retrieving it from storage. But strength only truly shows in combat. Aluo drifted out from the water spirit heart and perched on the table edge, swinging her legs back and forth. You humans are strange, you're plotting how to fight before you've even laid eyes on each other. Better safe than sorry. Lin Yi picked up the bow and drew its string, which hummed with tension. Starting tomorrow, we practice archery. He handed the bow to Su Muxue. You'll use this for ranged combat, the short sword for close quarters. I'll wield the spear. Me? Su Muxue stared at the bow, dumbfounded. I've never shot an arrow in my life. Then we start learning tomorrow. Lin Yi pulled out the engineer's notebook and flipped to the page covered in trap blueprints. Tomorrow we won't just practice archery, we'll set traps all around the cabin perimeter too. Su Muxue leaned in to examine the dense, complex schematics, her head spinning. What even are all these? Early warning traps, hunting snares, defensive fortifications. Lin Yi turned page after page. If that Liu Yang group comes back looking for trouble, these will slow them down first. Though I'm confident I could overpower them single-handedly, preparation never hurts. Su Muxue watched his focused profile, struck by how reliably capable this man was. Only 4 days into the dimensional shift, and he already possessed Grade A inheritance, Grade C weaponry, the engineer's vital notes, and access to an underground bunker. While other survivors struggled just to find clean drinking water, he was already laying out layered defensive plans. Lin Yi. HM? Did you research survival tactics before we shifted here? Lin Yi glanced up at her, confused. Research what? Like, survival handbooks or something, before we crossed over. Lin Yi fell silent for 2 beats. No. Then how do you know how to do everything? Lin Yi closed the notebook, leaned back in his chair, and stared up at the ceiling to think. Probably because I grew up dirt poor. Huh. When you're from a poor family, you learn to fix everything yourself. Leaky pipes, crumbling walls, building furniture, broken appliances. Lin Yi spoke calmly. All these survival skills are just basic hands-on know-how. Either you master them or you don't. Su Muxue's gaze softened as she looked at him. Your old life must have been really hard. It was manageable. Lin Yi stood and walked to the window. A little better than this reality, at least. Su Muxue said nothing more. A quiet hush settled over the cabin. Lin Yi opened his shelter interface panel and selected the upgrade function. For construction stone materials, he chose his blue-streaked stones. There wasn't much stock, yet they were far superior to ordinary rock. The entire cabin rumbled faintly as the upgrade initiated. Seconds later, the vibrations faded and a system chime echoed through the room. System prompt. Shelter upgrade complete. Current status. Shelter LV.3. Timber cabin. Next upgrade. Shelter LV.4. Refined timber cabin. Requires 300 lumber units, 100 stone units defense rating. 230. Sturdy timber construction capable of blocking attacks from common beasts. Unlocked buildings. Intermediate workbench. Craft basic metal tools, also known as Minecraft crafting table. Iron trap forging station. Current experience points, 500. Once the wooden cabin finished upgrading, Lin Yi could feel the entire structure far sturdier. The walls had visibly thickened, all the drafty cracks from before were sealed shut, and an extra layer of wooden louver shutters had been fitted to every window. Su Muxue knocked against the wall, which let out a solid thud. This hardness feels like it could take a full bull charging straight into it. We used grade D blue streak stone for the upgrade. You think this is child's play? Lin Yi pulled up his system panel and skimmed the newly unlocked structures, the intermediate workbench and iron traps. Neither required rare materials, just lumber, stone, and metal, all of which they'd gathered that very day. First, craft the workbench. Once we have this, we'll be able to forge iron traps too. Intermediate workbench. Grade D enables crafting of grade D and lower metal tools, weapon fittings, and trap components. Lin Yi tapped the craft button, and the workbench materialized instantly. Su Muxue stepped forward and brushed a hand across its icy, smooth surface. That's it? It's done already. Yep. Lin Yi pulled the shovels and pickaxes out of spatial storage and set them down on the workbench. Tomorrow we'll melt these down and recast them into trap parts. Melt them down. Su Muxue looked distressed. 3 shovels and 2 pickaxes, just like that? We only need 1 set of tools. The rest are better turned into traps. Lin Yi patted the worktop. Traps that catch prey are far more valuable than spare gear. Su Muxue thought it over and had to admit he made sense. Aluo floated out from the water spirit heart, circled the workbench once, and commented, "The craftsmanship's a little rough, but it'll get the job done. As long as it works, that's all that matters." Lin Yi then opened his personal status panel. Name, Lin Yi level 3, 600 EXP required for next level, physique, 120, human cap, 100, surpassed human limits brain domain expansion, 200, unique, sanity, 90, warning. Sanity below 10 causes unconsciousness, 0 results in brain death, talent, all transforming mind-body, S grade, telekinetic object manipulation. Current maximum load, 100 kilograms spatial storage, 120 cubic meters. With a 100 kilogram lifting limit, I could literally uproot a tree and swing it as a weapon later on. Su Muxue had also received a massive stat boost. While her physique still lagged behind Lin Yi's, it had climbed to 90. Lin Yi yawned. Time to sleep. We're up early tomorrow for archery practice. Day 5. Dawn had barely broken when Lin Yi roused Su Muxue. 5 more minutes, up and at 'em. We've got a heavy workload today. Su Muxue sat upright with her eyes squeezed shut, her hair sticking up wildly like a hedgehog. Aluo snickered watching her, only to get a sharp glare that silenced her at once. Lin Yi had already cleared the open yard outside the cabin. 30 meters away stood a target woven from branches and tattered cloth. He handed the hunting bow to Su Muxue and stepped back. Get a feel for it first. Su Muxue gripped the bow, her hands trembling as she nocked an arrow. Can I even draw this thing? It's a grade D hunting bow built with strength compensation. Give it a shot. Su Muxue took a deep breath, knocked the arrow, and pulled back the string. Her arms shook violently after drawing it only halfway. The arrow dipped downward, and she fumbled for ages trying to line up a sight picture. She released. The arrow veered wildly and buried itself in the weeds 3 meters beside the target. Su Muxue stared blankly. It's not my fault, the bow's defective. Lin Yi walked over with an impassive expression to retrieve the stray arrow. The bow's perfectly fine. He took the hunting bow, knocked, drew fully, aimed, and released in one fluid, seamless motion. The arrow sliced through the air, dead center in the bullseye, piercing clean through the tattered fabric. Su Muxue's mouth fell open in a perfecto shape. Aluo floated nearby and clapped. Nice shot. Lin Yi handed the bow back to her. Again. Su Muxue gritted her teeth and took another shot. This time the arrow slipped straight from her grasp and clattered onto the ground. Maybe I just don't have a natural talent for archery? Talents forged through practice. Lin Yi pulled the remaining arrows from storage. 50 shots. Don't stop till they're all used up. For the next hour, the yard echoed nonstop with the twang of the bowstring and Su Muxue's groans. My arms ache so bad. Keep going. I've got blisters on my palms. Keep going. I need to run to the outhouse. Go quickly. While Su Muxue dashed off, Lin Yi knelt and used telekinesis to gather all the scattered arrows. Out of 50 shots, fewer than 10 hit the target at all, and none struck the bullseye. Lin Yi let out a quiet sigh. This would be a long, grueling process. Su Muxue returned clutching something small in her palm. Look what I found in the weeds over there. She uncurled her hand to reveal an egg the size of a fist, pale cyan with fine black speckles covering its shell. System prompt: unidentified creature egg, hatchable. Hatchable? Su Mushue's eyes lit up. Does that mean something can hatch out of it? It might. Lin Yi took the egg and probed it with his telekinetic sense. Faint pulses of life hummed from inside the shell. It's alive. Su Muxue snatched it back and hugged it tightly to her chest. Mine, all mine, I'm hatching it myself. You're not a hen. What do you know about incubating eggs? I don't care, I'm doing it. She tucked the egg deep inside her shirt and cupped it against her skin. What if it hatches a divine beast? Aluo drifted over to examine the egg, her expression shifting instantly. This egg, what about it? Lin Yi tensed with vigilance. Aluo leaned in and sniffed it, her look growing strange. This isn't any ordinary beast's egg. It carries a strong spiritual energy signature, no weak trace either. Su Muxue nearly jumped for joy. I knew it. A divine beast egg. Hold your celebration for a second. Aluo cut her off. An egg steeped in spiritual power means its parents roam this area too. Whatever laid this egg is at minimum grade C. Lin Yi's brows drew tight. Are you saying a fully grown grade C creature is nearby? It's a very real possibility. Aluo stared down at the egg. And if it discovers its egg's gone, it will come hunting for it. The egg in Su Mushue's arms suddenly grew burning hot to the touch. She glanced nervously at Lin Yi. Should we put it back then? Why return a treasure we've already gotten our hands on? A faint smirk tugged Lin Yi's lips. It's only grade C. If it comes, we'll handle it. Handle it how? Test out our new weapons, obviously. No sooner had the words left his mouth than a low rumbling roar echoed from far off. The sound wasn't loud, yet it carried with piercing force, as if rising up from beneath the earth. Su Muxue paled instantly. Lin Yi turned toward the source of the noise, the west, the same forest they'd explored the day prior. It's coming. Aluo's tone remained calm. Fast. It'll be here in 5 minutes. Lin Yi pulled out his ironwood spear and fine iron short sword from storage, tossing the blade to Su Muxue. Take this. But I haven't even learned how to shoot properly yet. Then fight up close with the blade. Lin Yi slung the hunting bow over his shoulder and stepped outside the cabin. Aluo, take the water spirit heart and the egg, hide inside the house. What about you? Me? Lin Yi tightened his grip on the spear, gaze fixed on the western tree-line. I'm going to face it head-on. Su Muxue panicked. You're going alone? Stay here and guard the egg. Lin Yi didn't glance back. If I can't hold it off, grab the egg and run. Run where? As far away as you possibly can. With that, Lin Yi strode toward the forest. Su Muxue stood frozen where she was, clutching the short sword, her palms slick with cold sweat. Aluo floated beside her, watching Lin Yi's retreating back, and spoke with rare gravity. That man either has unfathomable courage or an extremely sharp mind. Which one's more likely? Right now? Probably both. The roar drew closer by the second, branches at the forest's edge thrashing violently. Lin Yi stood dead center in the yard, spear planted firmly in the dirt, waiting. A gust of wind swept a swirl of dead leaves across the ground. A beast the size of an adult Tibetan mastiff burst from the tree-line, its entire body sheathed in dark green scales. For thick, muscular legs supported its frame, and its tail flattened like a crocodile's. Slitted orange-yellow eyes locked onto Lin Yi, thick viscous saliva dripping from its jaws. Current safe zone remaining, 1 day, 10 hours. System prompt, current safe zone remaining, 1 day, 10 hours. Within the safe zone, creatures will not initiate unprovoked attacks. Provoke them, and you will be targeted. Grade C mutant creature, iron-tailed lizard. Attacks, bite, tail sweep. Weak point, thinner scales beneath its neck. Grade C. Lin Yi drew a deep breath and unleashed his full telekinetic power. The spear lifted off the ground, hovering steady before his chest. The iron-tailed lizard let out a low snarl and struck first. It pushed off its 4 legs, launching its entire body forward like a cannonball at terrifying speed. Lin Yi did not dodge. He twisted his torso sideways, guiding the spear with his mind to stab straight for the lizard's exposed neck. Mid-leap, the lizard contorted its body violently, whipping its massive tail hard against the spear with a loud crack. The spear was sent flying, embedding itself 10 meters away in the soil. But that was exactly what Lin Yi had planned for. The moment the lizard twisted, the soft-scaled patch beneath its neck laid bare, thin plates glinting faintly in the sunlight, its only critical weak spot. Lin Yi flipped his right wrist and pulled his spare dagger from spatial storage. He channeled telekinesis into the blade and released it, hurtling forward like a bullet toward the lizard's neck. Perfect hit. The dagger sank halfway into the flesh between its scales. The iron-tailed lizard let out a shrill, agonizing shriek, crashing to the ground and thrashing in torment. Acidic green blood sprayed from the wound, hissing and corroding the dead leaves it splattered across. Yet it was still alive. A grade C mutant beast's vitality far exceeded ordinary creatures. After several spasms, the lizard forced itself back onto its feet, orange eyes blazing with unbridled fury. It raised its tail high, every scale standing rigid to form a jagged iron mace. Lin Yi recalled the spear stuck in the dirt and gripped it firmly in his hands. Still kicking? Then round 2. The lizard lunged again, forgoing a bite this time to swing its tail with full force. Lin Yi remained unrushed, maneuvering the spear to intercept the strike while stepping backward. Metal clanged loudly as spear and tail collided. The lizard's tail was deflected, but a deep scratch marred the spear's shaft. Matching grade C against grade C, brute strength alone would not win this fight. The thought flashed through Lin Yi's mind, and he instantly shifted tactics. He stowed the spear and summoned all his metal arrowheads from storage. 50 iron arrows hovered densely before him, like a swarm of hornets ready to strike. The iron-tailed lizard froze, confused. Lin Yi smirked. Didn't see this coming, huh, pal? I've got area of effect firepower. All 50 arrows loose simultaneously. The lizard had no time to evade. The volley blanketed its entire body. No matter how tough its scales, they could not withstand such concentrated fire. Dozens of arrows pierced its flesh, 3 or 4 burying deep into the gash left by the dagger. The iron-tailed lizard descended into unhinged madness, rolling wildly across the yard, its tail flailing to send weeds and stone fragments flying everywhere. Lin Yi stepped back to a safe distance and watched its convulsions. 30 seconds later, the beast went still. System prompt: Grade C mutant creature, iron-tailed lizard, eliminated. EXP plus 800, talent fragment times 2 lizard corpse harvestable resources, scales times 12, beast meat times 8, poison gland times 1, iron tail bone times 1 player shared EXP, Su Mushue gains plus 800 EXP. Level up. Name, Lin A level 4, 1000 EXP required for next level, physique, 150, human cap, 100, brain domain expansion, 250, unique, sanity, 90, warning. Sanity below 10 causes unconsciousness. 0 results in brain death. Talent: all transforming mind-body, S grade, telekinetic object manipulation. Current maximum load, 200 kilograms. Spatial storage, 240 cubic meters. Lin Yi walked over and stored the entire corpse in his spatial ring, a full set of grade C crafting materials. Su Mushue sprinted out of the cabin, worry etched across her face. Are you all right? I heard such a huge commotion. I'm fine. Lin Yi brushed ash off his cheeks. It's dealt with. Dealt with. Su Mushue scanned him head to toe. You don't have a single scratch on you at all? Simple logic and strategy. Su Mushue fell speechless for a beat, then punched him lightly in the chest. You scared me half to death, you know that? She surged forward and threw her arms around Lin Yi tightly. Aluo floated up behind them, studying Lin Yi with a complicated expression. How much of your telekinetic power did you burn through just now? Roughly 70%. 70% to accurately guide 50 arrows all at once? Aluo stared at him in disbelief. A system announcement suddenly popped up. Regional announcement: Survivor Ao Lei has unlocked the Iron-Tailed Lizard Hunter achievement, becoming the first survivor in this zone to slay a grade C mutant creature. Lin Yi stared at the notification for 2 full seconds, then laughed coldly. This Zhao Lei, he's great at looting gear, and even better at stealing credit for others' feats. Su Mushue saw the message too and seethed with anger. What right does he have? You're the one who killed it. He never claimed he landed the killing blow. Lin Yi nodded at the screen text. He only completed the achievement. The system knows exactly who delivered the fatal strike. But he's just piggybacking off your accomplishment. Let him take the spotlight. Lin Yi sheathed his spear. The higher he climbs riding others' glory, the harder his fall will be. Aluo shivered faintly watching Lin Yi's cold smile. She recognized that look. The last time he'd worn it, he'd murmured, interesting. The time before that, he'd simply said, we'll handle this tomorrow. He said nothing this time, yet his intent was crystal clear. Zhao Lei, just you wait. Still fuming, Su Muxue suddenly remembered the egg tucked in her pocket and touched it gently. It was still warm against her palm. The egg's unharmed, Lin Yi said. Come on, let's head back and stew some meat. You know how to cook? Who do you think I am? Lin Yi pulled a slab of lizard meat from storage. When you grow up poor, you learn to do everything yourself, including making meals. Su Muxue swallowed hard. In that moment, she was certain being transported to this world alongside Lin Yi was the best decision she'd ever made in her life. Back inside the cabin, Lin Yi spent some materials at the workbench to forge a simple stone cauldron. He set it over an open fire pit, cut the lizard meat into chunks, dropped them inside, poured in water purified by the water spirit heart, and tossed in several brown spirit mushrooms. Rich savory aroma quickly filled the entire wooden cabin. Su Muxue knelt beside the stove, eyes fixed unblinkingly on the boiling broth. Lin Yi broke the silence. Muxue, you hit level 4 too, right? When you killed the lizard, I watched my EXP jump straight up by 800. What's your physique stat and talent looking like now? Su Muxue pulled up her status panel without holding anything back, displaying all her stats openly. Name, Su Muxue level 4, 1000 EXP required for next level, physique, 120, human cap, 100, sanity, 90, warning. Sanity below 10 causes complete unconsciousness, 0 results in brain death. Talent, matter perception, a grade, detect supplies within 1000 meters. Peak perception range extends to 1,500 meters. Severe stamina drain upon activation. Detectable goods include materials, weapons, food. As if on purpose, Su Muxue scrolled down to expand her physical profile tab. Name, Su Muxue height, 167 centimeters weight, 46 kilograms appearance score, 91 points figure score, 95 points, flawless S-curve physique. Lin Yi nearly choked on his water reading the pop-up stats. Su Muxue, meanwhile, burned bright red with embarrassment, too shy to lift her eyes and meet his gaze. She'd even begun to wonder if Lin Yi simply held no romantic interest in her at all. Lin Yi shot her a glance, then deliberately steered clear of the awkward topic. He pulled the engineer's notebooks out of his spatial storage and flipped to a page. Take a look at this. Su Muxue lifted her head, her cheeks burning bright red. Cold and aloof at school, she had never found herself in such an awkward predicament before. Drawn across the page was a map marking several key locations across the zone, the pool of water, the underground bunker, the quarry, and one site they had yet to visit. A red circle was scribbled at the very bottom of the page, with a line of handwriting beside it. Ruins entrance. Danger. Keep out. Su Muxue regained her composure and spoke up. This isn't the ruins Aluo warned us about? Lin Yi nodded. Survivors from 50 years ago already knew this place existed. He closed the notebook. And they marked it Danger. Keep out. Aluo floated over to stare at the notebook, falling silent for a long stretch. What happened to that engineer in the end? His journal cuts off at day 100, Lin Yi replied. No one knows what came after. Quiet settled over the cabin, broken only by the gurgle of broth simmering in the stone cauldron. Lin Yi ladled a bowl of soup and handed it to Su Muxue. Eat first. Su Muxue took the bowl and took a sip. The rich, savory flavor nearly brought her to tears. It was not merely that the broth tasted incredible, though it truly did, but because this warm meal was proof they were alive, surviving decently in this brutal world. Lin Yi filled a bowl for himself and leaned against the wall, sipping slowly. After a couple mouthfuls, he broke the silence. We'll head to the ruins tomorrow. Su Muxue nearly dropped her bowl in shock. Are you out of your mind? That's a grade B ruin, guarded by an S-tier creature. I only said we're going to scout it out, not march straight in to die. Lin Yi took another sip of soup. Know your enemy, and you shall win every battle. We need to see what the entrance looks like, map out the surrounding terrain, and spot any usable cover. We don't fight battles without preparation. Su Muxue was about to argue, but Aluo cut her off. He's right. For once, Aluo's tone was dead serious. The seal binding the S-grade guardian will break in 6 days. If you two want to live past that deadline, you have to find a way inside the ruins before then. Why would entering the ruins keep us alive? Aluo fixed her gaze on the girl. Lin Yi answered in her stead. The most dangerous place is often the safest. Once the guardian breaks free and wanders outside, the ruins themselves will be empty. If we can slip inside, we can claim its inheritance and evade the beast entirely. Su Muxue parted her lips, then clamped them shut again. The logic held up on paper, yet putting it into practice was another matter entirely. What are our odds of pulling this off? She asked. Lin Yi set down his bowl. 30%. You'd march into this with only a 30% chance? 30% is far higher than most odds I've faced, Lin Yi said. More often than not, I've had less than a 1% shot. Su Muxue stared at him for 5 full seconds. Night wind drifted through the cabin, rattling the wooden louver shutters softly. Some unknown beast howled deep in the distant woods, not the iron-tailed lizard, but another mutant entirely. This world was vast and endlessly perilous. But Lin Yi was right. They would survive until the very end. Not thanks to blind luck, nor overpowered talents alone, but because. Lin Yi turned, moonlight slanting through the window to spill across his face. Su Muxue. Wake up early tomorrow. Aim to reach the ruins by midday. And then what? We'll play it by ear. If the Guardian hasn't fully roused, we sneak inside. If not, we retreat and devise another plan. Su Muxue nodded, pulled the egg from her pocket, and tucked it carefully beside her pillow. What are you doing? Incubating the egg. I told you, you're no hen. What if it hatches tomorrow? Su Muxue buried the egg in the folds of her quilt. This will keep it warm. Lin Yi watched her for 2 seconds before deciding not to press the matter. He laid back down on the bed and closed his eyes, mentally mapping out their route for the next day. The ruins sat roughly 3 kilometers from the cabin. They would traverse the spirit-rich forest, climb a small hillside, and arrive. The engineer's note warned danger, keep out, yet the man had dared chart it all the same, meaning the threat had not been as severe 50 years prior. Half a century had passed since then, and the Guardian seal was steadily fraying. Time was running short. Lin Yi opened his eyes and retrieved the iron-tailed lizard's poison gland from storage. The dark green organ glowed faintly in his palm. Iron-tailed lizard poison gland, grade C material, can be refined into lethal venom. Coating weapons inflicts toxic damage. It would serve its purpose tomorrow. He stowed the gland and rolled onto his side. Su Muxue had already fallen asleep, still clutching the egg tight against her chest. Aluo poked half her head out from the water spirit heart and glanced at Lin Yi. Can't sleep. Just thinking. About what? Lin Yi fell quiet for a moment. That engineer wrote danger, keep out, yet he still sought the ruins. What do you think became of him? Aluo mulled it over. 2 possibilities. Either he ventured inside and never returned, or he turned back but perished later anyway. Which do you think is more likely? The first, Aluo said. If he'd never stepped foot near the entrance, he would never have drawn that detailed map. The blueprint proves he found the entryway and studied it thoroughly. Lin Yi nodded. That's my take too. Then why go tomorrow regardless? I'm going. Lin Yi closed his eyes. But I won't end up like him. Tomorrow will be day 6. We only have 1 more day to grow stronger. We have to boost our power as quickly as we can. So, what path do you want us to take this time, Lin Yi? Su Muxue asked softly. What's your thought? I'll follow wherever you go, no matter what. Lin Yi lay on the bed, gazing at Su Muxue, a quiet sense of steadfast warmth settling in his heart. Thank you. Why thank me? Without you, I never would have made it this far. They chatted quietly for a while longer, until Lin Yi gradually drifted off to sleep. Su Muxue stared at the brave, handsome boy beside her. No need to thank me, because I like you. She leaned closer to Lin Yi and pressed a gentle kiss to his cheek. Dawn had barely broken when Lin Yi stirred awake. System prompt, 23 hours remaining in the safe zone. No noise had roused him, his internal clock had simply kicked in. 6 days into this cross-world ordeal, his body had fully adapted to the planet's cycle. He sat upright, and his first sight was Su Muxue still sound asleep, the egg pressed to her chest, a soft, sweet smile tugging her lips. Aluo peeked out from the water spirit heart, exchanged a silent glance with Lin Yi, and mouthed wordlessly. She woke up several times in the night, just staring at that egg. Lin Yi nodded, slipped quietly out of bed, and walked over to the workbench. The lizard's poison gland rested on the table. Its dark green surface had dried into a hard crust overnight. He scraped it open gently with his dagger, thick viscous venom oozing out, carrying a faint sour tang. Iron-tailed lizard venom. Grade C coated weapons deal continuous toxic damage for 30 minutes. 30 full minutes of lingering poison damage. A faint smirk tugged Lin Yi's lips as he pulled out his short sword and ironwood spear. He dipped strips of cloth in the venom and carefully smeared the toxin across every inch of the blades and spear tip. Venom seeped into the metal grain, staining the silvery steel with an eerie pale green luminescence. Up this early? Su Mushue's voice drifted from behind him, thick with sleep. Lin Yi turned to see her sitting up, hair matted like a bird's nest yet her eyes bright and alert. Couldn't sleep, Lin Yi stowed the poisoned weapons back into storage. You too. Su Mushue did not answer. She glanced down at the egg in her arms, and her expression shifted sharply. Lin Yi. The egg, it's moving. Lin Yi crossed over and knelt beside her. The pale cyan egg dotted with black specks trembled lightly in Su Mushue's palms. A thin crack split the shell, clear fluid seeping out along the fissure's edge. It's about to hatch. Aluo floated over, her tone far more solemn than usual. Step back, don't touch it. Su Mushue set the egg carefully on the tabletop. The crack widened, tiny crunching echoes ringing out as something pushed hard from within. At last, a shard of shell burst outward, and a damp, wrinkled little creature poked its head through the opening. It was roughly fist-sized, its skin dull gray and rough like a lizard's hide, crowned with two tiny stubby horns. Its eyes remained sealed shut, its mouth opened and closed in quick little chirps. Su Mushue's eyes welled up instantly. It's so ugly. Lin Yi shot her a look. You spent the whole night incubating it, just to call it ugly. I didn't mean it like that. It's ugly in a cute way. System prompt. Hatching complete. Young iron-winged dragon. Grade C growable pet. Current state. Juvenile. Grows to grade B+ upon maturity. Capable of flight. Lin Yi's pupils flew wide. Growable lineage. B+ tier. Flight capability. He understood exactly what those three traits combined meant. This was no mere pet, but a fully functional aerial combat unit. This thing can reach B+ rank as an adult? Lin Yi's voice cracked faintly with shock. Aluo leaned in to examine the hatchling, her expression complex. More than that. If fed and nurtured atop a suitable spirit vein, it could even break through to grade A once fully grown. You two struck an irreplaceable treasure. Su Mushue already cupped the tiny beast in her hands, paying no mind to the sticky fluid coating its body. The young dragon nuzzled her palm, then pried its eyes open, amber vertical slits locked onto Su Mushue for 2 heartbeats before it chirped loudly. Su Mushue's resolve crumbled entirely. I'm keeping it. Lin Yi drew a deep breath to steady his excitement. A grade C dragon cub that matured to B+, with potential to hit a rank, all that lay far in the future. The immediate question was simple. What did the hatchling eat? Aluo, what do young dragons feed on? Spirit-infused water or spirit beast flesh? Aluo nodded toward the lizard meat stored in their spatial ring. Meat from any grade C creature works. Chop it fine and soak the shreds in spirit water to soften them. Lin Yi pulled a slab of lizard meat out, diced it into mince with his dagger, then fetched a small bowl of purified spirit water from the water spirit heart and soaked the meat within it. Su Mushue took the bowl and held it gently to the dragon's mouth. The cub sniffed the mixture once before diving headfirst into the bowl, messy crunching noises filling the cabin as it ate. Watching its greedy little feeding frenzy, Su Mushue giggled. Let's name you. Ugly? The young dragon lifted its head from the bowl and chirped sharply, clear disapproval ringing in the sound. Then how about little treasure? Chirp. All right, little treasure it is. Lin Yi held back a helpless comment about the silly name and turned to sort their supplies. They were bound for the ruins today, and time was limited. He double-checked the spear, short sword, and hunting bow, reapplying fresh venom to all blades and coating every metal arrowhead once more. 50 iron arrows glowed sickly pale green in the morning sunlight, an unsettling sight to behold. Su Mushue tucked little treasure into her pocket, only its small head peeking out. The cub craned its neck to gaze curiously at everything around them, then bristled and hissed a warning when it spotted Aluo floating nearby. This little one's got quite a temper. Aluo rolled her eyes. Relax, I'm not stealing your mother from you. Su Mushue's cheeks flushed red. Lin Yi pretended not to hear their exchange and pushed open the cabin door. Day 6 sunlight spilled across the clearing. Thick mist still shrouded the distant woods, occasional cries of unknown mutants echoing through the haze. He drew in a deep breath. The air carried a damp tang rain was likely coming. Let's go. We need to hit the ruins before noon. The ruins lay 3 kilometers from the cabin, past the spirit-rich forest and over a low hillside. Lin Yi had mentally rehearsed the route a dozen times, yet the actual trek proved far tougher than he'd anticipated. The spirit forest floor tangled with gnarled, interwoven tree roots, some even squirmed slowly beneath their feet. The trees absorbed ambient spiritual energy and were slowly mutating alongside every other living thing in this zone. Su Muxue stepped on a slick writhing root and nearly slipped, only for Lin Yi to yank her steady by the arm. Watch your step. What's up with these roots? They move like snakes. They're not snakes. Lin Yi knelt and brushed a hand across one root. It felt warm beneath his fingers, thrumming with a faint pulse. Let's keep moving quickly. They circled around the twisting roots, their pace slowed significantly. Little Treasure poked its head out of Su Muxue's pocket and chirped threateningly at the writhing roots, yet its tiny voice carried no real intimidation. After roughly 40 minutes of walking, they reached the forest's edge. A gentle slope stretched ahead, blanketed with waist-high dead grass that rippled and rustled in the wind. The ruins sat atop the hill's crest. Lin Yi halted and swept his telekinetic perception across the hillside. No large mutant creatures detected. Up the slope we go. The pair quickened their pace and crested the hill, then both froze on the spot. On the other side of the ridge yawned a massive sunken crater, as if a colossal impact had torn the land apart. Its diameter spanned at least 300 meters. No plant life grew on the crater floor, only pale gray gravel and dust. Dead center of the pit stood a single doorway. An isolated stone gate towering over 10 meters high. The gate hung wide open, or rather, it had been smashed outward from within. The two stone slabs lay crumpled on the ground, spiderwebbed with cracks and deep claw gouges. Pitch-black darkness filled the passage beyond, a cold stale gust of wind rolling out carrying an indistinct metallic, beastly stench. Su Muxue instinctively pressed herself closer to Lin Yi. This place looks deadly enough we shouldn't step foot inside. Lin Yi said nothing, staring long and hard at the shattered gate. The engineer's journal had read ruins entrance, danger, keep out. Had this gate remained sealed 50 years ago, or was it already broken open back then? If it had stayed closed, how had the engineer known of the perils within? If it had been smashed open already, where was the beast that had broken it down? Aluo floated out from the water spirit heart, her face grave. The seal, it's far weaker than I predicted. What do you mean? Lin Yi pressed. The primary seal lies deep within the ruin's lowest level, yet the entrance's containment formation is linked to it. Aluo pointed toward the shattered stone gate. The entryway was fully sealed once, but something forced its way through. 30% of the core seal's spiritual power was siphoned just to reinforce the entrance barrier, and even that wasn't enough to hold. Lin Yi grasped her meaning instantly. Are you saying the Guardian deliberately drained its own strength to lock the gate, luring intruders in? It's no lure. Aluo's voice turned heavy. It's a trap to hunt anything that draws near. Sealing the entrance demands massive spiritual energy. The Guardian diverted power to the gate to block outsiders, yet its main body deep below grew weaker as a result. It is a double-edged blade. Either the gate stays sealed, keeping all intruders out while the Guardian languishes in the depths, or the gate shatters, restoring the Guardian's strength and opening a path inside for us. So, what is the current state of things? Now, Aluo's gaze fixed on the dark gate passage. Neither scenario fully applies. The gate is broken, yet the Guardian's power has not fully recovered. It's waiting. Waiting for what? Aluo turned to meet Lin Yi's eyes. Waiting for you to step inside. Silence hung for 2 long beats. Su Muxue tugged gently at Lin Yi's sleeve. Maybe we head back today and return tomorrow? Lin Yi did not reply. He summoned his ironwood spear from storage, gripped it firm, and strode toward the stone gate. Lin Yi. Su Muxue panicked. Stay 5 meters behind me, Lin Yi said without glancing back. If anything goes wrong inside, turn and run immediately, don't look back. What about you? I have spatial storage to fall back on. Su Muxue gritted her teeth and followed close behind. Little Treasure poked its head out of her pocket, amber eyes locked rigidly on the dark passage. It did not chirp, yet every fine hair covering its small body stood straight on end. The gate tunnel lay dim, yet not fully black. Luminous moss clung to the stone walls, casting a faint pale teal glow that barely lit their path forward. The corridor stretched wide enough for 3 people to walk side by side, its floor laid with smooth stone slabs dusted in a thin layer of ash. Lin Yi stepped forward, leaving crisp, clear footprints in the dust. He spotted something deeply strange. The only prints on the ground were his own. No other human tracks, no beast paw prints of any kind. Aluo, he lowered his voice. Has no one passed through this tunnel? Aluo floated ahead and scanned the ground closely. Wind-blown ash buries old footprints. This gate was shattered decades ago. Any tracks left by past visitors would have long since vanished under dust. What about the stone beneath the ash? Constant traffic would wear smooth grooves into the slabs. Aluo paused, leaning down to study the stone surface intently. It was perfectly smooth, unmarred, unmarked. Not a single scratch or worn indentation to be seen. Her expression turned utterly bleak. This can't be right. If the Guardian burst out from inside this gate, its body would be at least 10 times larger than the iron-tailed lizard. There is no way it could pass through without leaving heavy damage in its wake. Lin Yi froze mid-step. The two exchanged a glance, both landing on the same terrible conclusion at once. The gate had not been broken open from within. It had been blown apart from the outside. Some creature, or someone, had blasted the stone gate to shards from the exterior, then either ventured inside, or emerged out into the world beyond. Lin Yi tightened his grip on the spear and pressed deeper into the tunnel. The corridor widened steadily. After walking roughly 200 meters, a colossal cavern opened up before them. Luminous moss grew far thicker here, its cyan glow illuminating the underground hall's vast outline. The chamber stretched as large as a football pitch, its vaulted ceiling rising 20 to 30 meters overhead, supported by 8 massive stone pillars. Dead center of the hall sat a circular stone platform etched with dense rows of ancient runes. Half the symbols glowed dim pale blue, still active. The other half had faded completely to ash gray, their power extinguished long ago. Aluo floated above the stone dais, circled it once, and her voice trembled as she spoke. The ceiling formation, over 60% damaged. The Guardian could break free at any moment. Lin Yi was about to ask where the Guardian lurked when a faint tremor rumbled up through the soles of his feet. The vibration was so low frequency, he would have missed it entirely without his full concentration. Yet its rhythm was unmistakably that of a heartbeat, slow, heavy, thunderous, thrumming from deep beneath them. "It's right under us," Lin Yi breathed in the quietest whisper possible. Su Mushue's legs began to shake uncontrollably. At that instant, Little Treasure suddenly leaped out of her pocket, landed on the stone floor, and let out shrill, piercing chirps toward one corner of the great hall. Lin Yi followed its line of sight. Piled in the corner was a mound of something, not rubble, not trash. Human bones. At least a dozen skeletons stacked atop one another, every bone scored with bite marks and savage gashes. Some bones were blackened with age, others looked fresh, tattered scraps of soft tissue still clinging to them. Lin Yi stepped over, knelt down, and brushed aside the top layer of bones. Carved deep into a thigh bone was a line of crude script, scratched into the surface as if by a fingernail. "It does not eat bone, so I could leave this message." Beneath it was another line, smaller and gouged harder into the stone. "Do not come down. It is feigning slumber." The tremors cut off abruptly as if nothing had ever stirred. Lin Yi knelt frozen, staring at the carved words for 3 full seconds before slowly rising and gesturing sharply for Su Mushue to retreat. She could not decipher his hand signal, but she recognized the cold dread etched across his face. She had seen that expression twice before, once when they spotted the stone face in the water pool, and again when the iron-tailed lizard charged them, the look he wore when mortal danger loomed. Without hesitation, she turned and fled. Lin Yi followed backward, never turning his back to the hall, retreating step by step toward the exit. He gripped his spear tight, unleashing his full telekinetic range to blanket the entire cavern. He would sense the beast's slightest movement instantly. Nothing stirred. No more heartbeat vibrations rippled up from below. The air in the hall remained frigid and stagnant, the glow of the luminous moss casting an ashen pallor over the pile of human remains. When he reached the tunnel entrance, Lin Yi spun around, grabbed Su Mushue's wrist, and sprinted. They raced all the way out through the shattered stone gate, scrambled over the hillside, and tore through the spirit-rich forest. Su Mushue only dared slow to catch her breath once the outline of their wooden cabin came into view. It didn't chase us, right?" She doubled over, gasping for air against her knees. "No," Lin Yi glanced back toward the mist-shrouded woods, empty and silent. "It's pretending to sleep. It won't reveal itself over 2 insignificant stragglers like us." Su Mushue sank heavily onto the ground. "Insignificant? We're ranked near the top of the survivor leaderboard after all. Against an S-grade creature, the leaderboard is nothing but a joke." Lin Yi pulled the water spirit heart from his spatial storage, took a gulp, and passed it to her. "Drink some water to steady yourself." Su Mushue snatched the vessel and chugged a large mouthful. Wiping her mouth, A thought suddenly struck her. Wait, did you grab any of the gear by the bones? A faint smirk tugged Lin Yi's lips as he pulled a short sword out of storage. Its blade was pure black, edged with a cold silver glint, its hilt set with a dark crimson gem. It looked plain at first glance, but the system prompt left Su Muxiue stunned. System prompt: Shadow Twin Blades, Grade B paired set. Unique skill: Shadow Strike. Teleport behind a target to launch an attack. Cooldown: 30 seconds. A Grade B weapon, complete with an active skill. Su Muxiue's eyes bulged as she stared at the blade. When did you grab this? I didn't see you touch a thing. When you turned to run, I telekinetically snatched them from beside the bone pile. Lin Yi drew the matching second sword and laid both identical blades side by side on the dirt. That's not all I found, either. He retrieved a pair of leather boots next, dark brown, unassuming on the surface, their soles etched with countless tiny runes. System prompt: Swift-Wind Boots, Grade C. Movement speed plus 20. Unique skill: Sprint, double movement speed for 10 seconds. Cooldown: 1 minute. Su Muxiue stared at the 3 pieces of equipment laid out before her, her mouth hanging open. Lin Yi, did you clear out the entire haul? Just 3 items total. Lin Yi stowed the boots back into storage. There was plenty of gear scattered by the bones, but I only grabbed what I could snatch quickly. That massive beast was feigning slumber beneath us. I dared not linger under its nose. Su Muxiue fell silent for 2 beats before jumping to her feet and clapping a hand firmly on his shoulder. Could you warn me next time? I thought we were just running for our lives, and you're looting rare equipment on the side. Call it preparedness. Call it stealing. Call it salvage, Lin Yi corrected her. These items lay abandoned, unclaimed. Finders keepers. Su Muxiue rolled her eyes, unwilling to argue further. She patted the pocket holding little treasure. The dragon cub stirred awake with an indignant chirp before curling back up to sleep. Let's head back to the cabin. By the time they returned, the sun hung low in the western sky. Lin Yi latched the door shut, then pulled the 2 Grade B short swords and Grade C boots out of storage to lay them across the table. Aluo floated out from the water spirit heart, her eyes lighting up at the sight of the equipment. Shadow Twin Blades? Swift-Wind Boots? Where on earth did you get these? We picked them up off the floor in the ruins' main hall, Lin Yi replied. Aluo's expression turned somber. These belonged to survivors who died trapped inside the ruins. Anyone capable of carrying Grade B gear into that place would have been a top-tier leaderboard combatant. And they still perished, Su Muxiue murmured quietly. That's why this place is called a ruin. Aluo gazed at the crimson gem set in the shadow blades. An S-grade guardian is no trivial threat. Lin Yi stowed the short swords and pulled up the system panel to open the survivor leaderboard. The rankings unfolded before him, stats freshly updated since the previous day. Regional Survivor Leaderboard, Overall Combat Power Ranking. 1. Qin Shuang. 2. Lin Yi. 3. Xia Yojia. 4. Zhao Lei. 5. Su Muxiue. I'm ranked second now, Lin Yi muttered, staring at the list. Su Muxiue leaned over to peek, her face falling. I only made 5th place? The moment the words left her mouth, a system announcement popped up. System announcement: Day 6 leaderboard rewards are being distributed. Reward rules: supplies awarded based on current rank, reset daily at midnight. First place: Qin Shuang, Grade B weapon ×1, Grade C armor ×1, Spirit water ×500 ml. Second place: Lin Yi, Grade B weapon ×2, Grade C armor ×1. Third place: Xia Yojia, Grade B weapon ×1, Grade D armor ×1, Ordinary freshwater ×500 ml. Fourth place: Zhao Lei, Grade B armor ×1, Grade D armor ×1. Fifth place: Su Muxiue, Grade B armor ×1. Su Muxiue froze upon seeing her reward. Just a single Grade B armor set for me? Second and third place don't get standalone armor rewards at all. Lin Yi scanned the system explanation. Leaderboard rewards follow a tiered scale. First place gets weapons, armor, and spirit water. Second earns 2 weapons plus 1 set of C-grade armor. Third receives 1 weapon, 1 D-grade armor, and plain water. Fifth only gets 1 set of B-grade armor. That still isn't fair. You get 2 Grade B weapons and C-grade armor, while I only get 1 B-grade armor set. The gap is huge. Lin Yi studied her for 2 quiet seconds. If you want one, I can give you one of the short swords. Su Muxiue parted her lips, then clamped them shut again. She stared at him for a moment before breaking into a soft smile. It's fine, you keep them. I wouldn't wield them well anyway, my talent isn't built for frontline combat. This grade B armor is more than enough to keep me alive. Lin Yi said nothing more. He pulled the 2 reward short swords out of storage alongside the shadow twin blades they'd looted from the ruin. He blinked, double-checking the system reward text. System reward, Gale twin blades, grade B ×2. Unique skill, Gale Slash, launch a blade of wind to slice through enemies in a straight line. Cooldown, 20 seconds. For grade B short swords total. Lin Yi laid all 4 blades out across the table, 2 shadow twin blades, 2 Gale twin blades. Their black steel glinted coldly beneath candlelight. Su Mushua swallowed hard, staring at the row of elite weapons. You've got 6 grade B weapons now? 4, Lin Yi corrected her. The shadow blades are a matched pair, counting as 2. The Gale blades make up another pair, 2 more. 4 total. That's the same thing. For grade B weapons all to yourself. Her voice rose in shock. Rank 1 Qin Shuang only has 1 B grade weapon and 1 C grade armor set, yet you hold 4 B grade blades alone? Her talent must be extraordinary. Otherwise, raw firepower alone wouldn't put her above me. Lin Yi leaned back against his chair, sliding the shadow twin blades across the table towards Su Mushua. Take these. Su Mushua stared blankly. For me? You already have grade B armor. Pair it with these blades, and you'll have balanced offense and defense, Lin Yi said. No, really, you hold on to them. My bow is enough to protect myself. Your matter perception talent paired with these twin blades will unlock your full combat potential. I've seen records of far greater power combinations than this. All right then. Once we teleport to the new map tomorrow, stick close and watch your back. Another system announcement flashed on screen. System announcement, 10 hours remaining until the safe zone expires. Once the safe zone ends, all survivors must select one of the following modes to advance to the next phase. Option 1. Urban Survival. Teleport to an all-new survival map, Metropolis Wasteland, triggering an apocalyptic survival scenario. Random unknown mythical creatures of varying ranks will spawn across the map. Survival cycle, 30 days. Difficulty level, high. Option 2, Homeland Defense. Remain in your current territory for 7 days, fending off waves of unknown beast assaults. Clear condition, defend your shelter successfully. Difficulty level, medium. Selection must be finalized within 24 hours. Su Mushua fell silent after reading the notice. Urban Survival. Her tone tightened with unease. The announcement states unknown mythical creatures. Zombies are only one possibility, Lin Yi explained. They could be entirely different abominations. Which option should we pick? Lin Yi stood and walked to the window. The first one. Su Mushua did not press him for an answer, waiting patiently for his reasoning. Our shelter is only level 3, far too underdeveloped. We only have 6 pieces of blue streak stone, nowhere near enough for a full upgrade. If we choose Homeland Defense, we cannot withstand 7 straight days of monster assaults. Lin Yi turned back to face her. We might hold off the first wave, but what about the second or third? Our supplies won't last a full week. Su Mushua nodded in understanding. And that beast trapped in the ruin, Lin Yi paused. It will break free of its seal in 7 days. Every extra day we linger here raises our risk exponentially. Better to reset our progress on a brand new map. Su Mushua looked up at him and smiled. You already made up your mind, didn't you? Lin Yi offered no denial. Then we'll choose the first option. Su Mushua stowed the shadow twin blades in her backpack and patted the pocket holding her dragon cub. Little treasure, we're off to a brand new world. Lin Yi opened his system panel and confirmed his selection. Confirmation. Urban Survival. Metropolis Wasteland Teleportation Countdown. 24 hours from now. Timer. 23 hours 59 minutes and 58 seconds. Only 1 full day remained. A new system prompt pinged. Detected impending departure from this realm. Would you like to dismantle your shelter and extract the shelter core? Lin Yi pulled up the shelter core description. After extracting the shelter heart, you may construct a new shelter instantly in any location in future zones. A flicker of delight crossed Lin Yi's face. He planned to retrieve the core this time tomorrow. He glanced at the time, 8 o'clock at night. This same hour tomorrow, they would no longer be inside this wooden cabin. Let's turn in early tonight. Tomorrow we sort all supplies and prepare for teleportation. He lay back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. Su Mushua. Stay glued to my side tomorrow. If any creatures draw near, use your bow to engage them. Got it, I'll remember. Day 7. Lin Yi rose at dawn and took full inventory of every item in his spatial storage. He also traveled to the water pool to gather extra reserves of fresh water. Spatial storage, 240 cubic meters. Current utilization, 21 weapons. Gale Twin Blades, Grade B, ×2. Shadow Twin Blades, Grade B, ×2. Ironwood Spear, Grade C, ×1. Fine Iron Short Sword, Grade C, ×1. Hunting Bow, Grade D, ×1. Metal Arrowheads ×32 Armor. Swift Wind Boots, Grade C, ×1. Grade B Plate Armor. Su Mushiwes. Materials, Blue Streaked Stone ×6. Iron-Tailed Lizard Scales ×12. Iron-Tailed Bone ×1. Brown Spirit Mushrooms ×18. Iron-Tailed Lizard Beast Meat ×5. Miscellaneous. Engineer's Notebooks ×3. Steel Cable ×1 Coil. Shovel ×1. Pickaxe ×1. Water Spirit Heart, Grade A. Spirit Water ×1500 ml. Purified Fresh Water ×20 cubic meters. Su Mushiwes Equipment, Grade B Plate Armor ×1. Shadow Twin Blades ×2. Little Treasure, Grade C Young Dragon. Lin Yi strapped the Gale Twin Blades to his waist, stowed the Shadow Twin Blades in storage as spares, and slipped on the Swift Wind Boots, flexing his ankles. The +20 movement speed buff made his whole body feel light and agile. Su Mushiwes wore her Grade B armor beneath a loose outer jacket to conceal it. From the outside, she looked like an ordinary young woman, no hint of elite gear visible. The armor fit seamlessly against her skin, weightless and imperceptible to the touch. Let's go. It's our last day, let's scout the surrounding area one final time. They circled the shelter, sweeping every nearby resource node once more. No new discoveries turned up, but Su Mushiwes' matter perception talent triggered again at the edge of the spirit forest, revealing another cluster of brown spirit mushrooms. She harvested 6 more. Hours slipped by 1 minute at a time. At 5 in the afternoon, 3 hours remained on the teleport countdown. Lin Yi opened his system panel to dismantle the wooden cabin that had housed them for 7 days. Disappointingly, none of the materials spent on its upgrade were returned, only a pile of rubble left behind. He extracted the shelter core safely. Lin Yi sat on the cabin's threshold, polishing the Gale Twin Blades. Su Mushiwes leaned against his shoulder, Little Treasure curled up asleep atop her shoulder with its eyes closed. Lin Yi sheathed the short swords at his waist as a system announcement flashed across his vision. System announcement. Safe zone expired. Timer reaches midnight. Survivors who selected urban survival will now be teleported to the new map, Metropolis Ruins. Teleportation in progress. The ground beneath their feet turned translucent. The wooden cabin, spirit forest, and distant hillside faded like a waterlogged painting, their colors draining and outlines blurring away. Su Mushiwes instinctively clutched Lin Yi's arm tight. Lin Yi stood rigid, gaze fixed forward. When their vision refocused, the air had completely changed. The damp earthy scent of the spirit woods and fresh timber aroma vanished, replaced by an alien stench of rust and rot. Sunlight still filtered down, but a thin layer of gray smog dimmed the sky, casting everything in the murky gloom of dusk. Lin Yi glanced down at his feet. Cracked asphalt road, weeds sprouting thick through every fissure. He lifted his head. Tall buildings of varying heights lined the street, some intact, half others collapsed into rubble. Crooked shop signs dangled overhead, their faded characters unreadable. Several abandoned vehicles sat in the middle of the road, their metal bodies coated in rust and dried dark crimson stains. This was a dead city. Su Mushiwes tightened her grip on his arm and lowered her voice to a whisper. Lin Yi, over there. Lin Yi followed her line of sight. A figure stood at the end of the street. No, not a human. The creature hunched forward, clad in tattered rags, its skin a sickly gray-green riddled with festering sores. Its head lolled at an impossible angle, its jaw opening and closing to let out garbled gurgling noises. It was shuffling toward them. Not walking, dragging itself. One leg trailed limply behind, carving a long scrape mark across the asphalt. System prompt. Target detected. Zombie. Grade E mutant creature. Eliminate to gain 10 points. Traits. Slow movement. Low attack power. Threat level rises when appearing in swarms. Grade E. Lin Yi let out a quiet breath of relief, only to tense up again a split second later. Another zombie rounded the corner at the street's far end. Then a second, a third, a fourth. In less than 10 seconds, more than a dozen zombies flooded onto the pavement, all lumbering straight for their position. Their pace was sluggish, yet their numbers kept growing without stop. Su Mushiwes had already knocked an arrow to her bow. Lin Yi laid a hand over hers to hold her back. Hold on a minute. Let's observe first. He took the hunting bow from Su Mushue's grasp, drew and aimed an arrow. The nearest zombie stood roughly 50 meters away. He released. The arrow sliced through the air and buried itself dead center in the zombie's skull. The creature swayed once before collapsing motionless to the ground. Seconds later, its corpse faded away completely, as if it had never existed at all. Grade E mutant creature ×1 eliminated. XP plus 10, points plus 10. Grade E 1 arrow per kill. Lin Yi handed the bow back to Su Mushue. Your turn. Su Mushue took the bow, her hands trembling slightly. Her first shot veered wide, lodging in a zombie's shoulder. The beast only staggered and kept advancing. Her second arrow struck its head. Grade E mutant creature ×1 eliminated. XP plus 10, points plus 10. I hit it. Su Mushue cheered quietly. Keep firing, don't pause. Su Mushue loosed arrow after arrow, felling 5 zombies in succession. Her archery skill was still clumsy. On average, she needed 2 shots to land a headshot. But against such a dense horde, accuracy barely mattered. Even body shots slowed their advance. Lin Yi stood by without lifting a finger, watching her practice while scanning their surroundings. The street stretched about 200 meters long, lined with apartment buildings and storefronts, most windows shattered. Over 30 zombies roamed the road, unevenly distributed with the thickest cluster closest to them. He unleashed his telekinetic perception to sweep the buildings flanking the street. Zombies lingered inside, but only scattered handfuls, isolated in separate rooms. The true threat was neither on the street nor within the nearby structures. Lin Yi lifted his gaze toward the far end of the road. An elevated highway rose into view, its surface dotted with countless tiny black shapes. Zombies. At least 100 of them packed together tight. They had not yet spotted the pair, but if Su Mushue kept firing, the constant thud of arrows hitting flesh would carry over soon enough. Stop. Lin Yi pressed down on her wrist. That's enough. We're moving. Where to? Lin Yi scanned the area and nodded toward a supermarket on the sidewalk. Its rolling metal shutter hung half open, just wide enough for one person to slip through. No zombies loitered at the entrance, and no signs of life emanated from within. Let's take shelter inside first and figure out what we're dealing with. The two darted across the road. Lin Yi slipped through the gap first, Su Mushue right behind him. He dragged the shutter down behind them, leaving only a 10-centimeter slit for faint daylight to filter through. The supermarket was small, roughly 100 square meters. Shelves lay toppled everywhere, trash strewn across the floor. The air reeked of mildew and a sickly sweet rot. Lin Yi sent his telekinetic sense sweeping the entire space. Clear. No zombies, no other survivors. Su Mushue leaned against a support pillar, gasping for breath. That was insane, we spawned right next to a zombie horde. It's not a full horde, just a loose gathering. Lin Yi stepped to the slit in the shutter and peered outside. The real horde's up on that overpass. Hundreds of them crammed together. Su Mushue leaned over to glance out and sucked in a sharp breath. Hundreds? We'd run out of arrows before we could take them all down. We won't need to fight them. Lin Yi shook his head. We'll just circle around. This urban map is massive, there's no need to clash head-on. Aluo floated out of the water spirit heart, took in their surroundings, and frowned deeply. The spiritual energy concentration here, it's practically zero. Why would a zombie zone need spiritual energy anyway? Lin Yi replied offhandedly, then a thought struck him. Wait, what does zero spiritual energy mean exactly? It means there are no spirit veins here, no way to replenish spiritual power. Aluo's tone turned grave. The spirit water stored inside the water spirit heart will deplete with every use. Its automatic purification function still works, but the rate it produces new spirit water will drop drastically. Lin Yi's brows knotted tight. That meant their most vital supply was non-renewable on this map. We'll ration it strictly. He pulled the water spirit heart from his backpack and tucked it against his chest, pressed close to his skin. Aluo, use your perception to gauge the map's boundaries. We're stuck here for 30 days. We need to know how far we can safely travel. Aluo closed her eyes, then opened them a few seconds later. This city is enormous. My sensing range only covers a 5-kilometer radius, and every inch within that stretch is covered in buildings and roads. No clear edge is visible. Then we can forget about mapping the borders for now. Lin Yi stood up. First, we need a safe place to spend the night. This supermarket won't cut it. The rolling shutter's far too flimsy. Zombies could bash it open easily. Su Mushue gestured toward the stairs leading upstairs. What about the second floor? Apartment doors are sturdier than metal shutters. Good idea. They slipped out the supermarket's back exit and circled around to the adjacent residential block. The stairwell was pitch black. Lin Yi pulled out a lighter to light their way as they climbed step by step. He swept each apartment with his telekinesis as they passed every doorway. Ground floor, 3 units. 1 infested with zombies, 2 empty. Second floor, 4 units, all vacant. We'll hole up on the second floor. Lin Yi picked a unit with an intact lock, unlocked the door from the inside with his telekinesis, and slipped sideways into the apartment. It was a 2-bedroom, 1 living room flat fully furnished, coated in a thick layer of dust. The windows faced the street, offering a clear view of the zombie mass on the overpass. Su Muxiue twisted the deadbolt shut, then dragged a heavy cabinet to wedge it firmly against the door. Will this hold? Should be enough for tonight. Lin Yi walked to the window and drew the curtains closed. We'll stay here tonight and reassess tomorrow. Su Muxiue set down her backpack and pulled little treasure out of her pocket. Trapped indoors all day, the dragon cub lit up at the sight of open space and flitted wildly around the room, nearly slamming into the ceiling. Calm down, little treasure. Su Muxiue tucked it back into her pocket. Can you settle down for a bit? Chirp. Lin Yi retrieved brown spirit mushrooms and beast meat from his spatial storage, assembled a makeshift stove on the workbench, and simmered a pot of broth. He used only a minimal amount of spirit water this time, rationing it to just enough for a decent serving. Su Muxiue sipped a couple mouthfuls from her bowl before suddenly pausing. Lin Yi, do you think there are other survivors besides us on this map? Of course there are. Lin Yi nodded toward his system panel. The leaderboard's still active. Qin Shuang's still first, Xia Youjia third, Zhao Lei fourth. They must all have picked the urban survival option too. Su Muxiue pulled up the rankings and her eyes went wide in shock. Lin Yi, look at this. Qin Shuang's points were skyrocketing. She'd gained 200 points in just 3 minutes. She's massacring zombies. Lin Yi narrowed his eyes. And she's killing them at a frightening pace. 200 points means she took down at least 20 of them in that span. Should we go hunt zombies too? Not yet. Lin Yi set his bowl aside. We need to learn the full rules of this map first. Zombies are only the first threat. The system warned random unknown mythical creatures will spawn. We can't rush into danger blind before we understand everything. The second his words faded, a shrill scream echoed from far down the street. It was not the gurgle of a zombie, it was a human voice, a young woman's cry for help. Su Muxiue shot to her feet. Someone's in trouble. Lin Yi stepped to the window and pulled back a tiny corner of the curtain to peek outside. Down on the road, a girl in a tracksuit was surrounded by 7 or 8 zombies. She had her back pressed against an abandoned city bus, swinging an iron pipe desperately to fend them off. Her movements were growing sluggish. Every time she slammed the pipe into a zombie's shoulder, the beast only lurched aside and lunged right back at her. Terror streaked across her face. Tears cut pale streaks through the dust caked on her cheeks. Su Muxiue grabbed Lin Yi's arm tightly. We have to save her. Lin Yi stared at the girl for 2 full seconds, then a faint cold smile tugged at his lips. She doesn't need our rescue. What? Why not? Look at the ground at her feet. Lin Yi pointed through the gap in the curtains. There's a grade C sword lying right beside her. She's ignoring it and clinging to that useless iron pipe instead. Why would she do that? Su Muxiue froze, confused. Because that sword isn't hers. Lin Yi explained flatly. She's deliberately hiding her real strength. If she can stay calm enough to hold back her power while surrounded by 8 zombies, those creatures pose no real threat to her at all. Her screaming, her tears, her cries for help, all an act. Su Muxiue watched the girl a moment longer and caught a telling detail. The young woman's eyes kept darting upward, straight toward their apartment building. She was waiting for someone to rush out to her aid. She's using herself as bait to fish for rescuers, Lin Yi said, drawing the curtain shut again. Then she'll. He left the sentence unfinished, but Su Muxiue understood perfectly. Then she would rob whoever fell for the trap. A chill ran down Su Muxiue's spine. What do we do now? Lin Yi pulled the Gale twin blades out of his spatial storage and hefted them lightly in his hands. Let her keep fishing. But the fish that takes her bait might not be the one she's hoping to catch.